confidence and self-love are not something you are born with. They are skills you can build every day through simple, practical actions. This audiobook will guide you step by step on how to understand your worth, set boundaries, and take control of your life in ways that actually work. You will learn how to think differently, speak kindly to yourself, and make decisions that strengthen both your mind and body. Each chapter is packed with exercises, reflections, and real-life strategies that help you feel stronger, more capable, and ready to face any challenge. By the end, you will know how to create routines, track your progress, and consistently grow into the person you want to become. Stick with this audiobook and discover how small daily habits can completely change the way you see yourself and the world around you. You will uncover how to stop negative thoughts from controlling your life, how to embrace challenges without fear, and how to surround yourself with people who truly lift you up. You'll see how forgiveness, self-care, and authentic expression can open doors to emotional freedom and inner peace. This is more than motivation. It's a practical guide that shows you exactly what to do each day to boost your confidence, build resilience, and strengthen your self-love. By listening carefully and applying these steps, you will start to notice real changes in how you feel about yourself, how you handle setbacks, and how you connect with the people and opportunities around you. Every lesson is designed to be actionable so you can take immediate steps toward a better version of yourself. Stay with this audiobook and learn how to turn intention into action, doubts into confidence, and small daily choices into a lifetime of self-respect and personal growth. Chapter 1. Recognize your worth and embrace your true self daily. Recognizing your worth and embracing your true self is the foundation of a life lived with confidence, clarity, and purpose. The journey toward understanding your inherent value begins with a simple yet profound acknowledgement that you are enough exactly as you are. Your worth is not determined by your achievements, possessions, or the approval of others. It is a fundamental truth that exists independently of external validation. When you internalize this reality, you unlock a profound inner strength that allows you to navigate life with a sense of calm, self-assurance, and resilience. Every decision, interaction, and choice you make becomes clearer and more deliberate because it stems from an authentic understanding of who you are and what you deserve. Recognizing your worth requires discipline, patience, and introspection. It is not a fleeting realization that comes once and never needs reinforcement. It is a daily practice that demands consistency and awareness. Start by observing the way you speak to yourself. Many people walk through life carrying a mental script filled with doubt, criticism, and self-judgment. These negative narratives do not reflect reality. They are echoes of past experiences, societal conditioning, and external expectations. By paying attention to these internal conversations, you begin to see how often you undermine your own value. Awareness is the first step. Notice each time you diminish yourself, each time you feel undeserving, and each time you seek validation from others instead of looking inward. These moments are opportunities to consciously affirm your worth and realign with your true self. Embracing your true self involves understanding your strengths, weaknesses, passions, and quirks without judgment. It means accepting every aspect of yourself, including the parts you may consider imperfect or flawed. True self-acceptance is not about complacency or ignoring areas of growth. It is about approaching yourself with honesty and compassion, acknowledging where you are strong and where improvement is possible. When you embrace your authentic self, you no longer measure your value against someone else's standards or try to fit into molds that do not serve you. You operate from a place of integrity, making decisions that reflect your priorities, values, and personal vision, rather than chasing approval or external recognition. A practical step to begin recognizing your worth is to spend time in reflection each day. This could be in the form of journaling, meditation, or quiet contemplation. Ask yourself questions that prompt honest self-assessment. What do I value most about myself? What achievements, large or small, have I accomplished that reflect my effort and dedication? In what areas have I demonstrated resilience, kindness, or courage? These reflections may feel simple, but over time they build a clear and undeniable understanding of your inherent value. Writing these insights down allows you to revisit them on challenging days, reinforcing a steady awareness of your worth, even when external circumstances feel overwhelming. Another essential practice is to create a personal affirmation system rooted in truth. Affirmations work when they are realistic and credible. Saying empty phrases that you do not believe will not change your internal narrative. Instead, focus on statements that reflect tangible aspects of your character and achievements. For example, affirm that you are a dedicated learner, that you face challenges with resilience, or that your actions positively impact those around you. Repeating these affirmations daily, especially in moments of self-doubt, strengthens your mental framework and gradually replaces negative self-perceptions with empowered beliefs. Consistency is key, as the brain responds to repeated truths by integrating them into your identity over time. Recognizing your worth also involves examining the relationships and environments you allow into your life. Surrounding yourself with people who undermine your confidence or belittle your contributions erodes your sense of self. Conversely, cultivating relationships with individuals who respect, support, and challenge you in healthy ways reinforces your self-esteem. Assess the energy you receive from the people around you. Are they uplifting or draining? Do they encourage your growth or diminish your voice? Setting boundaries and making conscious choices about who you allow close to you is a practical action that honors your worth. When you protect your energy and maintain connections that support your authenticity, you reinforce the internal recognition that you are valuable and deserving of respect. A significant part of embracing your true self is recognizing that your worth is independent of external success. Society often equates self-value with accomplishments, income, or social status. While striving for success is commendable, it should never define your core identity. You are inherently worthy regardless of your career, finances, or accolades. By separating self-worth from external outcomes, you free yourself from the constant pressure to perform or prove yourself to others. This mindset creates stability, resilience, and inner peace, allowing you to engage in life with curiosity, creativity, and authenticity rather than fear or comparison. Self-awareness is a cornerstone of embracing your true self. It involves observing your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. When you understand what drives your reactions, what triggers doubt, and what patterns reinforce negative self-perceptions, you gain control over your mental and emotional responses. This understanding allows you to consciously choose actions that align with your values and enhance your confidence. For instance, if you notice that you consistently downplay your achievements to avoid attention, you can work intentionally to celebrate your successes and acknowledge your efforts. Self-awareness transforms automatic reactions into deliberate choices, which is critical for cultivating self-love and confidence. Practical application of this principle includes establishing routines that reinforce self-recognition and self-appreciation. Start the day with a moment of reflection or a brief journaling session where you acknowledge your intentions, your strengths, and the qualities you admire in yourself. Throughout the day, pause to notice your accomplishments, no matter how small. Completing a task at work, being patient with a loved one, or taking care of your health are all valid reasons to affirm your worth. By consistently noticing and valuing these moments, you train your mind to recognize your contributions and inherent value, which strengthens your self-confidence naturally over time. Embracing your true self also requires courage to face discomfort and vulnerability. Many people hide parts of themselves to avoid judgment, criticism, or rejection. While protecting yourself is natural, hiding your authentic self leads to internal conflict, anxiety, and diminished confidence. Accepting your full identity means owning your story, experiences, and personality without apology. It involves being honest about your feelings, expressing your opinions respectfully, and pursuing interests that resonate with you even if they deviate from societal norms. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is a demonstration of courage and self-respect. When you allow yourself to be seen authentically, you cultivate deeper connections with others and strengthen your internal belief in your worth. Another actionable step is to set personal standards that honor your self-respect. Recognize what you will and will not tolerate in relationships, work, and personal interactions. Setting standards is not about controlling others. It is about defining the boundaries that protect your integrity and emotional well-being. When you operate according to your principles and uphold these standards consistently, you reinforce the internal narrative that you are valuable and deserving of respect. Each time you assert these boundaries, you practice self-love in a tangible, measurable way. Part of recognizing your worth is also celebrating your individuality. The unique combination of experiences, skills, thoughts, and perspectives you bring to the world cannot be replicated. Embracing your uniqueness allows you to contribute authentically, make decisions aligned with your values, and resist the pressure to conform to others' expectations. Daily reflection on your individuality can include noting moments when you acted according to your values, acknowledging skills you have honed, or appreciating your personal achievements. By recognizing these unique traits, you cultivate pride in your identity and strengthen the confidence that stems from self-acceptance. Consistency in these practices is critical. Self-love and confidence are cultivated gradually, and each day presents an opportunity to reinforce the principles you are learning. Create a daily ritual that includes reflection, affirmation, and acknowledgement of your accomplishments. Set aside time to consider your boundaries and personal standards, and regularly evaluate your relationships to ensure they support your growth. Through daily commitment, the recognition of your worth becomes second nature, influencing your decisions, behavior, and interactions in profound ways. Acknowledging your worth is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice. Life will challenge your confidence through setbacks, criticism, and unexpected changes. During these moments, returning to the core truth of your inherent value provides stability and guidance. When you encounter adversity, remind yourself of your strengths, achievements, and resilience. Reflect on moments when you acted with courage, integrity, and compassion. These reminders reinforce your internal belief system and allow you to navigate challenges without losing sight of your worth. Confidence grounded in self-recognition remains steady even when external circumstances fluctuate. Embracing your true self also enhances your decision-making. When you operate from authenticity, you make choices that reflect your goals, values, and priorities, rather than succumbing to external pressure or fear of judgment. Authenticity allows you to pursue opportunities aligned with your vision, decline situations that compromise your integrity, and engage in relationships that uplift rather than diminish you. This clarity of purpose fosters greater satisfaction, reduces stress, and strengthens self-confidence because every decision is rooted in self-respect and self-awareness. An essential part of this journey is practicing self-compassion. Recognizing your worth does not mean ignoring mistakes or failures. It means treating yourself with kindness when you stumble, learning from experiences, and understanding that imperfection is a natural part of growth. Self-compassion reinforces your resilience, encourages continued effort, and prevents destructive self-criticism from undermining your confidence. Daily practice of compassion can include forgiving yourself for errors, speaking kindly in moments of doubt, and acknowledging the effort you have put into personal growth. Practical exercises for daily implementation include writing a list of your strengths and reviewing them regularly, setting small, achievable goals that affirm your competence, and scheduling moments of self-reflection where you evaluate progress and celebrate personal victories. Each action, no matter how small, compounds over time to strengthen your sense of worth and authenticity. By consciously engaging in these exercises, you move from abstract understanding to tangible reinforcement of your confidence and self-love. Recognizing your worth also involves embracing responsibility for your life. Taking ownership of your choices, actions, and outcomes empowers you to shape your path intentionally. When you stop blaming circumstances or others for your challenges, you reclaim agency over your life. This perspective fosters resilience, enhances self-confidence, and reinforces the understanding that you are capable and deserving of shaping your reality in meaningful ways. Your worth is reflected in the energy you bring to the world. By recognizing and embracing your authentic self, you naturally exude confidence, integrity, and positivity. People are drawn to authenticity because it signals strength and clarity. This magnetism is not about seeking approval, but about living consistently with your values, principles, and identity. The more you operate from authenticity, the more you reinforce the internal belief that you are valuable and worthy of respect, admiration, and opportunity. Ultimately, recognizing your worth and embracing your true self daily is a transformative practice that reshapes every aspect of life. It requires discipline, reflection, and consistent action. It demands that you speak kindly to yourself, uphold personal boundaries, celebrate individuality, practice self-compassion, and make decisions aligned with your values. It challenges you to confront fear, embrace vulnerability, and reject external validation as the sole determinant of your confidence. When practiced consistently, these principles cultivate an unwavering belief in your value, empower you to act with courage, and provide the foundation for lifelong self-improvement. The path to embracing your worth is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding. Each moment of self-recognition strengthens your inner foundation, equips you to navigate challenges with grace, and enhances your capacity to impact the world positively. Confidence rooted in self-love is not fragile. It is resilient, enduring, and transformative. By committing to this daily practice, you are not only honoring your own life, but also inspiring those around you to recognize their worth and live authentically. The recognition of your value becomes a guiding force, shaping every interaction, decision, and opportunity, leading to a life lived with intention, fulfillment, and unwavering confidence. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness exactly as you are. Embracing your true self is a lifelong commitment that starts with daily awareness, reflection, and deliberate action. Each day provides a chance to strengthen this foundation, celebrate your uniqueness, and walk confidently in your authenticity. The power to live a fulfilled and meaningful life begins with recognizing your inherent worth and consistently acting from a place of self-respect and love. Every effort you make to honor yourself compounds over time, creating a life of resilience, purpose, and unwavering self-confidence. This journey, while personal and inward-focused, radiates outward, influencing every relationship, decision, and opportunity, solidifying the truth that recognizing your worth and embracing your true self daily is not just a practice. It is the most transformative act you can commit to in your life. Chapter 2. Set clear boundaries to protect your energy and focus. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful actions you can take to protect your energy and maintain control over your life. Without clear boundaries, it is easy to feel drained, overwhelmed, and scattered, constantly reacting to other people's demands and expectations instead of directing your own path. Boundaries are not just rules you impose on others, they are declarations of your value and self-respect. They define how you allow others to treat you, how you manage your time, and how you preserve your mental, emotional, and physical energy. Understanding this is essential because every interaction, commitment, and responsibility you take on has an impact on your focus, productivity, and overall well-being. The first step in establishing boundaries is gaining awareness of your energy and recognizing when it is being depleted. Many people live in a constant state of exhaustion because they fail to notice how their time, attention, and emotional reserves are being consumed. Start observing your daily routines and interactions. Notice which activities leave you feeling energized, fulfilled, or motivated, and which ones drain you, create stress, or leave you resentful. By identifying these patterns, you gain clarity about where boundaries are most needed. This awareness is crucial because it allows you to make informed decisions about what to engage with and what to decline. Once you understand where your energy is being challenged, the next step is defining your limits with precision. A boundary is essentially a line you draw that communicates what is acceptable and what is not. It could be physical, emotional, or mental. For example, you might decide that you will not respond to work emails after a certain hour, or that you will not allow anyone to speak to you disrespectfully. Defining your limits requires honesty with yourself about what you need to maintain balance and focus. Be specific in your boundaries so they are clear and enforceable. Ambiguous limits are easily ignored or violated, which undermines your ability to protect your energy. Communicating boundaries is equally important. A boundary only works if it is expressed clearly and consistently. Many people struggle with this because they fear confrontation or rejection. However, setting boundaries is not selfish, it is necessary for personal growth and healthy relationships. Approach communication with confidence and assertiveness. State your limits calmly and firmly without over-explaining or apologizing unnecessarily. For instance, saying "I am unavailable for calls after 8 p.m. is sufficient. You do not need to justify every boundary. Consistency in enforcement will train others to respect your limits and reinforce your sense of control over your life. Boundaries are also about prioritizing what truly matters. When you know your values, goals, and priorities, it becomes easier to decide where to invest your time and energy. Not every request or opportunity aligns with your vision, and saying yes to everything dilutes your focus. Learning to decline politely but firmly is an essential skill. Each time you honor your boundaries, you reinforce your commitment to yourself and create space for activities that genuinely contribute to your growth and well-being. Prioritization transforms boundaries from rigid rules into tools that amplify your energy and effectiveness. Emotional boundaries are just as critical as time or physical boundaries. These involve protecting your feelings, opinions, and mental space from being dominated by others. It means refusing to internalize criticism that is not constructive, distancing yourself from toxic conversations, and not absorbing the emotions of those around you unnecessarily. Emotional boundaries allow you to engage with empathy without sacrificing your own stability. They create resilience by ensuring that external negativity does not penetrate your inner peace or compromise your focus on meaningful objectives. Enforcing boundaries requires discipline and self-respect. There will be moments when others resist or test your limits. People may feel uncomfortable when you assert yourself, especially if they have grown accustomed to taking advantage of your time or energy. This resistance does not mean you are wrong. It is a natural reaction when change occurs. Stand firm and reinforce your boundaries consistently. Over time, this consistency cultivates respect from others and reinforces your self-confidence. You will notice that maintaining your limits actually strengthens relationships because interactions become more genuine, balanced, and mutually respectful. A practical approach to boundary setting includes creating a list of your non-negotiables. These are the rules or limits that, if violated, significantly impact your focus or well-being. Examples may include hours of rest, dedicated time for personal growth, or refusing to engage in gossip or negative environments. Once these non-negotiables are identified, integrate them into your daily life and communicate them proactively. Having this clarity removes ambiguity, reduces stress, and empowers you to make decisions aligned with your goals and values. Boundaries also enhance productivity and creativity. When your energy is protected, your mind is freer to focus on high-priority tasks, solve problems effectively, and explore new opportunities. Without clear boundaries, your mental space becomes cluttered, attention is fragmented, and your potential remains underutilized. By deciding consciously where to direct your energy and attention, you create an environment conducive to growth and success. Protecting your energy is not an act of avoidance. It is a strategic choice to maximize your capacity to perform, create, and thrive. An often overlooked aspect of boundary setting is self-awareness in relationships. Examine the people you interact with and consider whether they honor your time, respect your needs, and uplift your energy. Relationships that consistently drain or destabilize you are signals that your boundaries may need reinforcement or that certain connections require re-evaluation. Healthy relationships operate on mutual respect and reciprocity. By protecting your energy through boundaries, you ensure that your interactions are balanced and beneficial rather than depleting. Daily practice of boundary setting creates long-term resilience. Begin with small, manageable actions, such as turning off notifications, declining an optional meeting, or taking a few minutes to pause before responding to requests. Gradually, expand your boundaries to include larger and more challenging areas, such as emotional exposure, personal time, and long-term commitments. Each step reinforces your ability to control your environment, maintain focus, and protect your energy. Consistency in these practices transforms boundary setting from a conscious effort into an intuitive habit that shapes your lifestyle. Boundaries are also about protecting your mental clarity. When your focus is not constantly diverted by unnecessary demands, you can think clearly, plan effectively, and act decisively. Mental clarity is a direct result of prioritizing what is essential and eliminating distractions that do not serve your purpose. Every choice to reinforce a boundary contributes to sharper decision-making, improved problem-solving, and a more intentional approach to life. The capacity to focus on what truly matters enhances both personal and professional growth. Self-reflection is an important tool for assessing the effectiveness of your boundaries. Regularly review your routines, interactions, and commitments to ensure they align with your priorities and energy levels. Adjust your boundaries when necessary to respond to new challenges or opportunities. Flexibility does not mean compromising your core limits. It means being strategic and intentional about where and how you apply your energy. Reflection provides insight into patterns of energy drain and reinforces your ability to maintain control over your life and focus. Boundaries contribute to emotional stability and inner peace. When you consistently protect your energy, you experience less stress, fewer conflicts, and a stronger sense of self-control. This stability allows you to navigate life with calm confidence, respond to challenges thoughtfully, and interact with others from a place of balance rather than reaction. Inner peace emerges naturally when you honor your needs, enforce your limits, and refuse to sacrifice your well-being for unnecessary demands or distractions. The ability to protect your energy through boundaries also encourages personal growth. When your time and focus are safeguarded, you can invest in learning, developing skills, and pursuing goals that matter most. Boundaries free you from distractions and obligations that do not contribute to your evolution. They create space for reflection, creativity, and strategic action. By prioritizing your energy, you invest in yourself in a tangible way that yields long-term benefits for confidence, competence, and resilience. A crucial aspect of maintaining boundaries is accountability. Hold yourself responsible for enforcing the limits you set. Avoid rationalizing exceptions that weaken your stance. Each time you honor a boundary, you reinforce self-respect and demonstrate to yourself and others that your energy is non-negotiable. Accountability strengthens your integrity and supports the development of habits that protect your focus, productivity, and emotional stability. Your commitment to your own energy sends a clear message that you are in control of your life and capable of making intentional choices. Boundaries also teach others how to treat you. By clearly communicating and enforcing your limits, you set expectations for respect, consideration, and fairness. This clarity reduces misunderstandings, conflicts, and frustration in relationships. People learn that your time, energy, and focus are valuable, which encourages mutual respect and enhances cooperation. Protecting your energy is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of leadership and self-mastery that strengthens your influence, confidence, and personal effectiveness. Setting boundaries requires courage and self-belief. It may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you are used to saying yes to everyone or prioritizing others over yourself. Resistance from others is a natural part of the process. Stay firm, consistent, and committed to your well-being. Each successful enforcement reinforces your confidence, strengthens your focus, and demonstrates that you are capable of managing your energy deliberately. Over time, maintaining boundaries becomes second nature, creating a life that supports growth, clarity, and resilience. Ultimately, setting clear boundaries is about taking control of your life, protecting your energy, and preserving your focus for what truly matters. It is an essential practice for anyone committed to personal growth, confidence, and effectiveness. Boundaries empower you to act intentionally, prioritize your values, and engage in relationships and opportunities that enhance your life rather than drain it. By consistently defining, communicating, and enforcing your limits, you create a foundation for sustained energy, emotional stability, and focused progress toward your goals. Your ability to maintain these boundaries determines the quality of your life, the clarity of your mind, and the strength of your confidence. This practice, when adopted fully and consistently, transforms the way you live, interact, and achieve, creating a powerful and resilient version of yourself capable of thriving in any circumstance. Chapter 3. Practice gratitude to enhance your happiness and mindset. Gratitude is one of the most transformative practices you can cultivate to shape your mindset and elevate your happiness. It is not merely a polite acknowledgement of what you have, but a deliberate, disciplined focus on the positive aspects of your life, no matter how small they may seem. Practicing gratitude rewires your brain to notice abundance instead of scarcity, to find meaning in challenges, and to build resilience against negativity. When you consistently engage in gratitude, your perception of life shifts, allowing you to experience more joy, clarity, and fulfillment in every moment. This practice strengthens your mental, emotional, and even physical health, making it an essential tool for personal growth and daily improvement. The first step to developing gratitude is intentional awareness. Most people move through life automatically, focusing on problems, desires, and what they lack. To cultivate gratitude, you must pause and observe the world around you deliberately. Take note of the simple things that are often overlooked: a warm cup of tea, a kind word from a colleague, the sunlight filtering through your window. These moments are reminders that life continuously offers sources of satisfaction and positivity. By training your mind to notice and appreciate these details, you gradually replace automatic dissatisfaction with conscious acknowledgement of value and beauty in your daily life. Writing down what you are grateful for is a powerful and practical strategy to reinforce this habit. Keeping a gratitude journal allows you to actively engage with your thoughts and emotions, creating a tangible record of positivity. Each day, identify at least 3 specific things you are thankful for. They can range from meaningful relationships to personal achievements or even small gestures of kindness you witnessed. Writing with specificity strengthens your focus, forcing your mind to examine details and recognize the concrete benefits and blessings in your life. Over time, this practice cultivates a mindset that naturally seeks out and values what is good, rather than dwelling on what is lacking. Gratitude also requires reflection on challenges and adversity. It may seem counterintuitive, but appreciating the lessons and growth that come from difficult experiences builds strength and resilience. Every obstacle presents an opportunity to learn, adapt, and become more capable. When you view challenges through a lens of gratitude, you shift from frustration or helplessness to empowerment. Reflect on a recent struggle and identify at least one lesson or insight you gained from it. This approach transforms setbacks into sources of motivation and growth, reinforcing a mindset that is solution-oriented, positive, and resilient. A practical method to embed gratitude in your daily routine is to pair it with existing habits. For example, when you wake up each morning, take a moment to acknowledge something you are grateful for before starting your day. During meals, silently note the effort and resources that went into providing that food. Before sleep, reflect on the highlights of the day and the people, experiences, or opportunities that brought you satisfaction. By linking gratitude to consistent daily activities, you create an automatic cue that strengthens the habit, making it effortless to integrate into your life over time. Gratitude enhances relationships by fostering appreciation and connection. When you recognize and communicate gratitude toward others, it strengthens trust, respect, and mutual support. Expressing genuine thanks for someone's effort, presence, or encouragement makes them feel valued and reinforces positive interaction. This practice is not about flattery or obligation. It is about acknowledging the meaningful contributions of people around you. Relationships thrive when gratitude is present because it shifts focus from taking for granted to actively valuing and appreciating others, which in turn elevates your own sense of connection and happiness. Developing gratitude also requires mindfulness. Life moves quickly, and many moments of beauty, joy, or opportunity pass unnoticed. Mindfulness involves slowing down, observing, and being present with your experiences without judgment or distraction. When you are mindful, you become more aware of the subtle aspects of life that warrant appreciation. A mindful approach allows you to experience each moment fully, noticing the sensations, emotions, and details that contribute to fulfillment. Mindfulness and gratitude work hand in hand to enhance perception, emotional regulation, and overall life satisfaction, creating a powerful combination for mental and emotional well-being. Another essential component of gratitude is recognizing your progress and effort. Often, people focus on what they have not yet achieved or the standards they have not yet met. While striving for growth is important, failing to appreciate your current achievements diminishes motivation and satisfaction. Regularly reflect on personal accomplishments, growth, and resilience. Acknowledge the steps you have taken, the obstacles you have overcome, and the skills you have developed. By valuing your own efforts, you reinforce self-esteem and confidence, cultivating a mindset that balances ambition with contentment and appreciation. Gratitude also involves seeing the bigger picture in life. It is easy to become consumed by daily stress, disappointments, or minor inconveniences. By stepping back and observing life in a broader context, you can identify enduring sources of value, love, and opportunity. Consider the relationships, freedoms, or resources you possess that enable growth and happiness. Appreciating these fundamental aspects of life fosters a sense of perspective and humility, reducing feelings of entitlement or dissatisfaction. This broader vision strengthens resilience and mental clarity, allowing you to navigate challenges with patience, confidence, and optimism. Practical exercises can deepen the practice of gratitude. One exercise is to write letters of appreciation to people who have positively influenced your life, even if you do not send them. The act of articulating your thanks solidifies your awareness and recognition of their impact. Another exercise is to consciously reframe challenges by asking, "What can I learn from this?" or "How does this situation help me grow?" Reframing promotes a constructive mindset and aligns difficulties with growth, rather than despair. Engaging in these exercises regularly trains your mind to consistently seek the positive and recognize value in all experiences. Gratitude also influences your physical and emotional health. Studies show that individuals who practice gratitude regularly experience reduced stress, improved sleep quality, stronger immune function, and enhanced emotional stability. This is not coincidental. Gratitude reduces the focus on negativity and worry, which directly lowers stress responses in the body. It fosters emotional regulation, calmness, and contentment. By incorporating gratitude as a daily discipline, you support both your mental and physical well-being, creating a foundation for sustained energy, motivation, and confidence. Integrating gratitude into daily life encourages deliberate attention to what matters most. When you recognize and value the good in your life, it becomes easier to focus on priorities, invest energy wisely, and let go of trivial distractions. Gratitude creates mental space for clarity, decision-making, and action. You begin to see opportunities rather than obstacles, solutions rather than problems, and possibilities instead of limitations. This proactive orientation enhances productivity, goal achievement, and life satisfaction, reinforcing the positive feedback loop created by a grateful mindset. Gratitude also strengthens resilience by shifting perspective during challenges. When difficulties arise, instead of reacting with frustration, you can identify aspects of the situation for which you are thankful, such as the opportunity to learn, the support you have, or the chance to develop patience. This reframing transforms obstacles into meaningful experiences that contribute to growth. Resilience built on gratitude allows you to maintain emotional balance, respond effectively to adversity, and preserve your focus and energy. Over time, this practice becomes an automatic lens through which you interpret life, enhancing stability and confidence. The act of giving thanks fosters humility, perspective, and presence. Gratitude reminds you that your achievements and successes are not solely the result of personal effort, but often supported by others, circumstances, and opportunities. Recognizing this network of support cultivates respect for life, others, and yourself. Humility does not diminish confidence, it enhances it by providing a grounded understanding of how personal effort interacts with external conditions to create meaningful outcomes. A balanced perspective strengthens decision-making, reduces envy or resentment, and promotes long-term contentment. Gratitude is also a practice of anticipation and reflection. Begin and end each day by identifying something meaningful that you expect or appreciate. Morning reflection sets a positive tone, focusing your attention on opportunities and strengths. Evening reflection consolidates experiences, acknowledges accomplishments, and reinforces satisfaction. This cyclical approach integrates gratitude into daily rhythm, providing a consistent framework for emotional balance and happiness. Over time, these reflections become automatic, allowing your brain to naturally prioritize positive thoughts and experiences. A deeper understanding of gratitude involves aligning it with values and purpose. Identify what is most important to you and intentionally recognize the elements in your life that support these priorities. Gratitude becomes a tool for clarity, reinforcing actions, relationships, and experiences that align with your personal mission. It strengthens focus, motivation, and intentionality, creating a mindset where happiness is connected to purposeful living rather than fleeting pleasure or external validation. Ultimately, practicing gratitude enhances your life by shifting your perspective from scarcity to abundance, negativity to possibility, and dissatisfaction to appreciation. It provides mental clarity, emotional stability, resilience, and motivation while nurturing relationships and self-esteem. By committing to a disciplined, daily practice of gratitude, you cultivate a mindset that naturally attracts positivity, opportunities, and fulfillment. Gratitude is not a temporary strategy, but a lifelong habit that consistently strengthens happiness, focus, and personal growth. Every acknowledgement of value, every reflection on blessings, and every expression of thanks reinforces the understanding that life is filled with opportunities, lessons, and joys that contribute to your confidence and sense of well-being. Chapter 4. Challenge negative thoughts and replace them with positivity. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess, and taking control of it begins with confronting negative thoughts and deliberately replacing them with positivity. Every thought you entertain shapes your perception of reality, your emotions, and the decisions you make. When negativity dominates your thinking, it clouds judgment, drains energy, and sabotages progress. Learning to identify destructive patterns and intentionally redirecting your mind toward constructive, empowering ideas is a skill that transforms your confidence, focus, and overall quality of life. This process requires awareness, discipline, and consistent practice, but its impact is profound and lasting. The first step in this transformation is developing acute self-awareness. Negative thoughts often arise automatically unnoticed and repeated so frequently that they feel like truth. Begin by observing your mental patterns without judgment. Notice recurring themes such as self-doubt, fear, guilt, or pessimism. Recognize how these thoughts influence your emotions and behaviors. Awareness creates a pause, a moment where you can decide whether to engage with a thought or redirect it. Without noticing these patterns, negative thinking will continue to operate unconsciously, limiting your potential and reinforcing feelings of inadequacy or frustration. Once you identify negative thoughts, challenge their validity. Ask yourself whether these ideas are based on facts, assumptions, or exaggerations. Consider alternative perspectives and evidence that contradicts the negativity. Often, thoughts like "I am not good enough" or "I will fail" are rooted in fear rather than reality. By examining their accuracy, you break the automatic acceptance of false narratives. This exercise cultivates critical thinking and strengthens the ability to discern between helpful guidance and mental distortions. Over time, challenging these thoughts becomes an instinctive habit that prevents negativity from taking root in your mind. Replacing negative thoughts with positive ones requires intentionality. Positivity is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It is about focusing on constructive solutions, acknowledging strengths, and reinforcing beliefs that empower action. For every negative thought you detect, actively introduce a positive or realistic alternative. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking "I can't handle this situation," replace it with "I have faced challenges before and can navigate this step by step." The replacement must feel credible and actionable, Vague platitudes will not change your mental patterns. Consistent practice strengthens new neural pathways, gradually making positive thinking a natural response rather than a forced effort. A practical method to support this habit is journaling. Write down negative thoughts as they occur and immediately follow them with positive reframing statements. This exercise externalizes your thinking, making patterns visible and easier to address. The act of writing creates a deliberate pause, giving your mind time to process and replace negativity. Over weeks, the journal becomes a record of mental growth and reinforces confidence in your ability to manage your thoughts consciously. Seeing progress documented provides motivation and clarity on how far your mindset has evolved. Visualization is another effective strategy to replace negativity with positivity. When you catch yourself dwelling on failure or limitation, imagine a version of yourself overcoming the challenge, achieving your goals, and responding with resilience and confidence. Visualization trains the brain to associate effort and action with success rather than fear and doubt. Repeated mental rehearsal strengthens belief in your abilities and reinforces the mindset that challenges are opportunities for growth. Pairing visualization with action amplifies results because your mind begins to expect and work toward positive outcomes. Daily affirmations also reinforce a positive mental environment. Carefully crafted statements that reflect your capabilities, values, and goals act as mental anchors during challenging situations. Repeat affirmations at the start of your day, before difficult tasks, or whenever negative thoughts arise. Affirmations should be specific, actionable, and believable. Statements like "I approach challenges with confidence and clarity," or "I have the skills to grow and succeed," counteract the influence of self-doubt and fear. By verbalizing these truths consistently, you create mental momentum toward positivity and resilience. Environmental factors influence thought patterns significantly. Surround yourself with inputs that reinforce constructive thinking. Consume content that motivates, educates, and uplifts you. Limit exposure to negativity, whether from social media, news, or toxic conversations. People and media you interact with shape your mindset. Choose sources that support optimism, growth, and practicality. A positive environment accelerates mental transformation and reduces the likelihood of negative thought cycles taking hold. Mindfulness is essential for observing thoughts as they arise without becoming entangled in them. Meditation or brief pauses throughout the day allow you to notice negativity without reacting impulsively. Mindfulness develops the capacity to detach from self-critical or fear-based thinking, providing space to intentionally redirect your mind. It strengthens emotional regulation and prevents negative spirals from dominating your mental state. The more present and aware you are, the easier it becomes to respond with constructive thoughts rather than defaulting to destructive patterns. Challenging negative thoughts also involves questioning the long-term impact of harboring them. Ask yourself whether engaging in self-criticism, worry, or pessimism contributes to your goals or merely drains energy. Recognize that dwelling on negativity is a choice, and every moment spent there is a moment diverted from growth, action, and fulfillment. Shifting perspective to focus on solutions, opportunities, and gratitude empowers your decision-making and reinforces the mindset that your thoughts are tools, not constraints. Consistency is crucial. Changing mental patterns is a gradual process that requires repeated, deliberate effort. Small, daily actions, such as identifying one negative thought and reframing it, or spending 5 minutes on reflection and visualization, compound over time. Neural pathways supporting positive thinking strengthen with repetition, making optimism and resilience more natural. Each day of mindful mental practice reinforces confidence, clarity, and emotional stability, producing a durable foundation for sustained personal growth. Replacing negativity with positivity also benefits relationships. Thoughts influence emotions, and emotions guide behavior. When your internal dialogue becomes constructive, your interactions with others improve, you communicate more effectively, respond calmly to conflict, and contribute positively to group dynamics. Positivity is contagious. As you cultivate a constructive mindset, it enhances your environment, encouraging others to engage with optimism, respect, and collaboration. Your mindset becomes a source of influence, inspiring growth and confidence both within and around you. An actionable strategy is to create a mental positivity bank. Each time you overcome a negative thought, visualize it as a deposit into this mental account. Track progress by noting improvements in mindset, emotional regulation, or responses to challenges. This exercise provides tangible reinforcement and motivates continued effort. The mental bank becomes a reminder of your growing capacity to manage thoughts intentionally, promoting pride in your progress and reinforcing self-belief. It is also important to address the root causes of recurring negative thoughts. Often, self-doubt or pessimism stems from unresolved experiences, learned behavior, or external criticism. Reflection and self-inquiry reveal patterns and triggers that can be addressed through conscious thought redirection, habit modification, or seeking knowledge and support. Understanding the origin of negative thinking empowers you to dismantle limiting beliefs and replace them with truths that support growth, action, and emotional stability. Practical daily exercise include pausing whenever you notice self-criticism, reframing the thought with a constructive alternative, journaling reflections, practicing affirmations, and using visualization techniques to reinforce your goals. Combining these methods creates a comprehensive approach that attacks negativity from multiple angles, ensuring that your mind develops resilience, focus, and optimism. Over time, this consistent practice rewires your thought processes, making positive thinking the default response rather than an effortful intervention. Ultimately, challenging negative thoughts and replacing them with positivity is an ongoing commitment that requires awareness, discipline, and courage. Your mind is not a passive observer. It is an active participant in shaping your life. By taking control of your thoughts, you reclaim power over your emotions, decisions, and actions. Each deliberate choice to redirect negativity strengthens confidence, fosters resilience, and enhances your capacity to achieve meaningful goals. Positivity becomes not only a mindset but a lifestyle, producing clarity, emotional balance, and the sustained energy needed to thrive in every aspect of life. The practice of transforming negative thoughts into constructive ones is a cornerstone of personal development. It impacts mental clarity, emotional resilience, productivity, and relationships. By committing to this discipline, you cultivate a mind that seeks opportunities, focuses on solutions, and values progress. Each moment spent redirecting destructive thinking reinforces your self-belief, nurtures happiness, and supports long-term success. Over time, the ability to consistently challenge and replace negativity becomes an automatic process, empowering you to approach life with confidence, purpose, and unwavering reasoning. Chapter 5. Develop a consistent self-care routine that empowers you. Taking deliberate care of yourself is the most powerful step you can take to enhance your energy, focus, and confidence. Self-care is not a luxury or an indulgence. It is a foundational practice that strengthens your mind, body, and spirit. When you consistently prioritize your well-being, You create the mental clarity, emotional stability, and physical vitality necessary to perform at your best, pursue your goals, and respond to challenges with resilience. A self-care routine is not about sporadic pampering. It is about building structured habits that empower you to live fully, consistently, and intentionally. The first step in developing a consistent self-care routine is understanding your personal needs. Everyone has different requirements for physical health, emotional balance, and mental clarity. Start by assessing which areas of your life need the most attention. Are you neglecting sleep, nutrition, or exercise? Do you struggle with mental clutter, stress, or emotional overwhelm? Identifying these gaps provides clarity about where self-care practices will have the most impact. This self-assessment becomes the foundation upon which you build a routine that genuinely supports your growth and well-being. Once you know your needs, it is essential to design habits that fit seamlessly into your daily life. Consistency is key, so routines should be realistic, achievable, and specific. For example, instead of vaguely saying "I will exercise more," commit to a defined plan like "I will walk for 20 minutes every morning," or "I will perform strength training 3 times per week." Small, deliberate actions compound over time to produce significant results. A routine that aligns with your energy levels, schedule, and preferences is more sustainable and empowering than one that feels like a forced obligation. Physical health is a critical pillar of self-care. Your body is the vehicle through which you experience life, and maintaining it ensures that you can operate at your best. This includes regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and sufficient rest. Exercise does not have to be extreme. Even moderate activity like walking, stretching, or yoga improves energy circulation and mental focus. Nutrition should focus on fueling your body with what it needs, rather than following temporary diets or trends. Adequate sleep is essential for recovery, cognitive performance, and emotional regulation. By integrating these elements into a consistent routine, you create a strong foundation for every other aspect of self-care. Mental self-care is equally important. A clear and focused mind allows you to respond to challenges effectively rather than reacting impulsively. Mental self-care practices can include journaling, meditation, or engaging in activities that stimulate your intellect. Journaling helps process emotions, track progress, and identify patterns that influence your behavior. Meditation trains focus, reduces stress, and cultivates emotional balance. Reading, learning new skills, or engaging in creative projects exercises your mind and fosters a sense of accomplishment. A routine that consistently incorporates mental self-care creates stability, perspective, and problem-solving ability. Emotional self-care involves nurturing your feelings and building resilience. This means acknowledging emotions without judgment, expressing yourself authentically, and seeking support when needed. Practices such as talking to a trusted friend, practicing gratitude, or reflecting on positive experiences strengthen emotional intelligence. Emotional self-care also involves protecting yourself from unnecessary negativity, setting boundaries, and consciously choosing relationships and environments that uplift rather than drain you. By regularly addressing emotional needs, you maintain balance, reduce stress, and enhance your capacity to respond to life with calmness and confidence. Incorporating small daily rituals amplifies the effectiveness of a self-care routine. These rituals can be as simple as a morning stretch, a mindful cup of tea, or a brief pause to breathe deeply. These intentional actions create moments of presence, grounding, and energy replenishment. By repeating them consistently, they form a rhythm that signals to your body and mind that care and attention are non-negotiable priorities. The simplicity of these rituals is their power. They reinforce discipline while producing tangible benefits for focus, energy, and emotional stability. Consistency also requires accountability. Tracking progress, scheduling practices, and setting reminders ensures that self-care is maintained even when life becomes busy or stressful. Without deliberate accountability, routines easily fall victim to distractions, fatigue, or obligations to others. By monitoring adherence and adjusting when necessary, you reinforce commitment to yourself. Accountability transforms self-care from sporadic effort into a dependable habit that becomes part of your identity. Self-care routines should be flexible and adaptable. Life circumstances change, energy levels fluctuate, and priorities shift. An empowering routine is one that can adjust without losing its essence. Flexibility allows you to maintain momentum even when conditions are not ideal, preventing guilt or discouragement from undermining your commitment. It also encourages experimentation with practices that maximize benefit and enjoyment, ensuring that self-care remains engaging, effective, and empowering rather than burdensome. Another aspect of self-care is recognizing the power of reflection. Regularly reviewing your habits, progress, and emotional state provides insight into what works and what needs adjustment. Reflection helps identify practices that replenish energy, cultivate focus, and enhance confidence. It allows for continuous refinement of your routine so that it evolves alongside your personal growth. Without reflection, routines may become mechanical, losing effectiveness and the sense of empowerment that consistent self-care provides. Self-care routines also empower decision-making and goal achievement. When your physical, mental, and emotional states are strong, you make clearer choices, pursue opportunities with confidence, and respond to challenges effectively. Neglecting self-care reduces energy, clouds judgment, and diminishes resilience. By prioritizing routines that maintain your well-being, you create a platform from which all personal, professional, and relational success becomes more achievable. Energy, focus, and clarity naturally flow from the consistent investment in yourself. It is also important to embrace self-care as a non-negotiable commitment rather than an occasional luxury. Treating it as optional undermines its effectiveness and sends the message that your needs are secondary. When you prioritize self-care consistently, you communicate to yourself and others that your well-being is essential. This mindset reinforces self-respect, confidence, and the ability to act with purpose in all areas of life. Non-negotiable self-care builds discipline and resilience while creating a life structure that supports growth and balance. A practical approach is to break self-care into manageable categories and schedule them intentionally. Physical practices, mental stimulation, emotional nurturing, and restorative activities can be allocated specific times during the day or week. Treat these commitments as appointments with yourself that cannot be missed. Over time, this structured approach develops a habit loop that becomes automatic, providing sustained benefits without requiring constant conscious effort. Self-care also strengthens self-esteem by reinforcing the message that you are worthy of attention, effort, and care. By consistently investing in your own well-being, you acknowledge that your energy, health, and happiness are priorities. This reinforcement builds confidence, reduces dependence on external validation, and encourages autonomy in personal and professional decisions. A strong sense of self-worth emerges naturally from regular, deliberate self-care. Ultimately, developing a consistent self-care routine is a disciplined act of empowerment. It requires awareness, planning, consistency, reflection, and adaptability. By addressing physical, mental, and emotional needs, you create a foundation for resilience, clarity, and focus. Daily rituals, accountability, and intentional scheduling ensure that care becomes an automatic, reliable part of life. This investment in yourself enhances energy, strengthens confidence, and amplifies the capacity to achieve goals, navigate challenges, and maintain balance in every area of life. A consistent self-care routine is not optional. It is the cornerstone of personal empowerment, long-term growth, and meaningful fulfillment. Chapter 6. Celebrate small wins to build confidence and motivation. Every accomplishment, no matter how small, has the power to propel you forward and strengthen your confidence. Progress is built incrementally, and celebrating even the tiniest victories reinforces your belief in your capabilities. Many people overlook small achievements, focusing only on major milestones, but it is these consistent, modest wins that form the foundation of lasting success. Recognizing them creates momentum, fuels motivation, and establishes a mindset that values effort, persistence, and growth. Celebrating small wins is not about arrogance or complacency. It is about acknowledging progress, reinforcing positive behavior, and maintaining the drive to achieve bigger goals. The first step in harnessing the power of small wins is conscious awareness. Pay attention to the tasks you complete, the decisions you make, and the obstacles you overcome each day. Often, achievements are subtle: finishing a challenging assignment, making a healthy choice, or overcoming procrastination. These moments may seem insignificant in isolation, but when recognized and appreciated, they become evidence of your capability and resilience. Awareness ensures that your brain registers success frequently, which strengthens motivation and builds self-esteem over time. A practical method to celebrate small wins is journaling. Each day, list accomplishments, no matter how minor they appear. Writing down progress externalizes it, allowing you to see tangible proof of effort and improvement. Over time, your journal becomes a record of consistent growth and perseverance. This documentation reinforces confidence, particularly during periods when motivation feels low. Seeing how far you have come, even in small steps, reminds you that progress is happening and that you are capable of achieving your goals. Another way to celebrate small wins is to consciously reward yourself. Rewards do not need to be extravagant. They can be simple gestures that bring joy or satisfaction. This could include taking a brief walk, enjoying a favorite snack, or spending time on a hobby you love. Rewards reinforce the behavior that led to the achievement, creating positive feedback loops. Associating small victories with positive experiences trains your brain to recognize effort as meaningful, encouraging continued action and focus. Acknowledging small wins also strengthens resilience. When challenges feel overwhelming, recalling minor victories reminds you of your ability to overcome obstacles. Each small success is evidence that you possess the skills, discipline, and determination necessary to tackle larger goals. This perspective reduces self-doubt and builds emotional endurance. Celebrating incremental progress shifts focus from frustration with unmet expectations to appreciation for consistent effort, reinforcing persistence and patience. Sharing your wins with others can amplify their impact. Telling a supportive friend, family member, or mentor about progress creates accountability and reinforces the significance of your achievement. Sharing also inspires others to recognize their own progress, fostering a culture of encouragement and growth. Positive acknowledgement from others validates effort, builds confidence, and strengthens social connections. Recognizing small wins publicly or privately enhances the sense of accomplishment and motivates continued action. It is important to redefine what constitutes a win. Success is not only measured by outcomes, but also by effort, consistency, and personal growth. Completing a difficult task, maintaining a positive habit, or learning a new skill are all victories worth celebrating. By broadening your definition of success, you create more opportunities to recognize progress and maintain motivation. This mindset reduces frustration from comparing yourself to others and focuses attention on personal improvement. Daily reflection reinforces the habit of celebrating small wins. At the end of each day, spend a few moments reviewing what you accomplished, what challenges you overcame, and what actions moved you closer to your goals. Reflection ensures that achievements are internalized, not dismissed or forgotten. This practice also allows for recognition of patterns of behavior that lead to success, which can be repeated and strengthened over time. Reflection bridges the gap between effort and acknowledgement, solidifying the benefits of celebration. Celebrating small wins builds confidence incrementally. Confidence grows through repeated evidence of competence and capability. Each minor victory provides proof that you are capable, competent, and progressing. Over time, these repeated affirmations of success create a strong foundation of self-assurance that extends to larger goals and more challenging tasks. Confidence becomes a natural byproduct of consistent recognition and reinforcement, rather than something that must be forced or manufactured. Small wins also enhance motivation by creating momentum. Action leads to further action, and recognition of progress fuels a desire to continue. Motivation is sustained when the brain perceives that effort produces results. Even minimal progress, when acknowledged, triggers the same psychological reward mechanisms that larger successes provide. Momentum is built through a series of incremental steps, each reinforced by conscious celebration. This approach reduces procrastination, increases engagement, and strengthens persistence in pursuit of long-term objectives. Incorporating ritual into the celebration process enhances its impact. Develop consistent ways to acknowledge victories, such as a brief pause, a gesture of appreciation to yourself, or recording progress in a visual format. Ritual creates a structured approach that reinforces the habit and signals to your mind that achievement is meaningful. Consistent rituals around celebrating small wins instill a sense of pride, accomplishment, and recognition of effort that compounds over time, making the practice automatic and sustainable. Focusing on small wins also shifts attention from setbacks and failures. When challenges arise, reflecting on incremental victories maintains perspective and reduces discouragement. Recognizing progress creates resilience, reminding you that even if obstacles exist, steps towards success are being made. This balance prevents demotivation and fosters a mindset oriented towards solutions, learning, and growth. By consistently celebrating achievements, your mind is conditioned to notice and prioritize positive progress over negative setbacks. A practical exercise to cultivate this habit is breaking larger goals into micro-tasks. Each completed step, no matter how minor, becomes an opportunity for acknowledgement and celebration. For instance, if your goal is to write a book, finishing a chapter or even a page constitutes a small win. By dividing ambitious objectives into achievable actions, you create multiple moments of accomplishment that reinforce confidence, sustain motivation, and prevent overwhelm. Incremental progress builds a sense of capability that fuels persistence. Celebrating small wins also encourages a positive self-image. When you recognize your consistent effort and growth, you internalize a narrative of competence and determination. This internal narrative strengthens self-esteem and reduces negative self-talk. By valuing progress as much as outcomes, you cultivate a mindset that acknowledges your worth and capabilities, reinforcing the confidence needed to pursue ambitious goals. Ultimately, the practice of celebrating small wins transforms how you approach life. It shifts focus from waiting for monumental successes to recognizing the power of consistent effort. Each small victory reinforces confidence, strengthens motivation, and builds momentum. Through awareness, reflection, rewards, rituals, and recognition, small wins become the engine that drives personal growth, achievement, and resilience. Consistently valuing incremental progress empowers you to take control of your journey, embrace your capabilities, and approach every challenge with confidence and determination. Chapter 7. Visualize your goals and take steps to achieve them. Your dreams are achievable the moment you see them clearly and commit to taking deliberate action. Visualization is a powerful tool that allows you to create a mental blueprint of your goals, turning abstract desires into tangible images your mind can work toward. When you vividly imagine the steps, effort, and outcomes associated with your ambitions, your brain begins to recognize possibilities, plan strategically, and focus energy toward making them reality. Visualization is not wishful thinking. It is a disciplined practice that bridges the gap between intention and execution, reinforcing motivation and strengthening your commitment to success. The first step is to define your goals with clarity. Vague aspirations lead to vague results, so it is essential to know precisely what you want to achieve. Identify measurable, realistic, and specific outcomes. For example, instead of saying, "I want to get fit," define it as, "I want to run 3 miles in 30 minutes within 3 months." Specificity allows your mind to visualize concrete steps, creating a clear path forward. Clear goals transform abstract dreams into actionable objectives, giving direction to your efforts and energy. Once goals are defined, create vivid mental images of achieving them. Picture yourself completing tasks, overcoming obstacles, and experiencing the emotions associated with success. Visualization works best when it engages all your senses. Imagine the sights, sounds, feelings, and even smells connected to your accomplishment. This detailed mental rehearsal trains your brain to anticipate success, build confidence, and recognize opportunities that align with your objectives. The more precise and immersive your visualization, the stronger its impact on your motivation and performance. Breaking goals into actionable steps is critical. Visualization alone is insufficient. Without deliberate action, map out the tasks required to reach your objective and establish a sequence that allows steady progress. Each step completed reinforces belief in your ability to succeed and provides feedback that fuels further momentum. For instance, if your goal is to start a business, steps might include researching your market, creating a business plan, networking, and launching a product. Each action is measurable, actionable, and contributes to your overarching vision. A practical method to strengthen this practice is to combine visualization with daily planning. Begin each day by mentally rehearsing tasks and visualizing successful execution. Then, create a concrete list of actions to take. This combination ensures that your goals remain top of mind and translates intention into consistent, productive behavior. By aligning your mental focus with practical steps, you reinforce the connection between imagination and reality, transforming abstract ideas into tangible progress. Visualization also helps overcome obstacles and anticipate challenges. Mentally rehearsing potential difficulties allows you to plan responses in advance and reduces fear or hesitation when obstacles arise. Imagine yourself confronting setbacks, staying composed, and finding solutions. This proactive approach strengthens resilience, improves problem solving, and increases confidence. By repeatedly visualizing successful navigation of challenges, you train your mind to respond constructively rather than react impulsively when real-life difficulties appear. Tracking progress enhances the effectiveness of goal visualization. Record milestones, reflect on achievements, and adjust plans based on results. Seeing measurable advancement reinforces belief in your capabilities and maintains motivation. Progress tracking transforms abstract goals into observable outcomes, providing proof that consistent effort produces results. It also highlights areas that require improvement, ensuring that your visualization practice remains aligned with practical action and continual growth. Accountability reinforces visualization and goal achievement. Sharing your objectives with a trusted mentor, friend, or coach increases commitment and provides support. Accountability partners encourage follow-through, offer constructive feedback, and celebrate progress. Their involvement strengthens discipline and adds an external layer of motivation to complement internal visualization practices. Accountability ensures that your goals are not just imagined, but actively pursued with consistent, deliberate action. Maintaining a positive mindset is crucial when visualizing goals. Negative self-talk, doubt, or fear can undermine progress. Replace limiting beliefs with affirmations and positive mental rehearsal that support confidence and perseverance. Remind yourself of past achievements, personal strengths, and the skills you possess to reach your objectives. Visual objectives. Visualization becomes more effective when combined with belief in your ability to succeed. Confidence and clarity reinforce each other, creating a mindset oriented toward action and results. Visualization also works best when paired with incremental reinforcement. Regularly revisit mental images of success, adjusting details as goals evolve. Daily repetition strengthens neural pathways that align thought patterns with desired outcomes. Over time, visualizing success becomes automatic, guiding decision-making, focus, and behavior toward consistent progress. Reinforcement ensures that the brain is continuously oriented toward achieving objectives, creating a self-sustaining cycle of motivation, clarity, and purposeful action. A powerful exercise is to imagine your goal in a future context, then work backward to determine steps needed today. Picture the end result with clarity, then identify immediate actions that bring you closer. This backward mapping connects long-term vision to present behavior, transforming large, intimidating objectives into manageable tasks. By bridging the gap between imagination and action, you create a practical plan rooted in daily effort that steadily advances your goals. Incorporating visualization into a morning routine amplifies its effectiveness. Starting the day with a clear mental picture of success primes your mind for focus, discipline, and persistence. It sets an intentional tone for decision-making, prioritization, and energy allocation. By aligning your daily actions with visualized outcomes, you strengthen consistency, enhance productivity, and build momentum toward your objectives. A structured morning visualization ritual ensures that goals remain central in both thought and action throughout the day. Celebrating progress along the way enhances motivation and reinforces visualization practice. Each milestone achieved, no matter how small, validates your efforts and strengthens belief in your capacity to succeed. Recognition of incremental wins creates emotional reinforcement, making visualization feel credible and attainable. Positive reinforcement strengthens neural pathways, encouraging continued focus, determination, and follow-through. By celebrating progress, you convert abstract mental images into tangible experiences of accomplishment and growth. Visualization also encourages creative problem-solving. When you mentally rehearse achieving your goals, your brain naturally explores alternative strategies, evaluates risks, and anticipates challenges. This proactive mindset allows you to discover innovative approaches, adapt to unforeseen obstacles, and maintain consistent progress. Creative visualization transforms passive imagination into active planning, ensuring that goals are approached strategically and with clarity. Ultimately, visualizing goals and taking deliberate steps to achieve them bridges the gap between aspiration and accomplishment. A clear mental image directs focus, reinforces motivation, strengthens confidence, and guides behavior. When combined with actionable planning, consistent effort, accountability, and reflection, visualization becomes a catalyst for tangible success. It transforms ambition into reality, empowering you to navigate challenges with resilience, pursue opportunities with clarity, and achieve objectives with unwavering commitment. Consistent practice ensures that your mind, actions, and emotions align, producing results that reflect both vision and determination. Chapter 8. Speak kindly to yourself and remove self-criticism. The words you speak to yourself shape your reality, and choosing kindness over criticism can transform your life completely. Self-criticism undermines confidence, drains energy, and creates a persistent barrier to growth and fulfillment. Every time you judge, doubt, or belittle yourself internally, it reinforces limitations rather than possibilities. Speaking kindly to yourself is not self-indulgence. It is a deliberate act of empowerment that nurtures resilience, focus, and emotional stability. By consciously replacing harsh judgment with supportive, constructive language, you strengthen your ability to navigate challenges, pursue goals, and maintain a balanced mindset. The first step is awareness of your internal dialogue. Negative self-talk often operates automatically, emerging in response to mistakes, setbacks, or uncertainty. Begin by observing the tone, words, and patterns of your inner voice. Notice when you criticize yourself for outcomes, compare yourself to others, or focus on perceived flaws. Awareness provides the critical pause that allows you to intervene and redirect your thoughts. Without recognizing these patterns, negative self-talk will continue unconsciously, reinforcing doubt, anxiety, and discouragement. Once you notice self-critical thoughts, actively challenge their validity. Ask whether the statements are factual, exaggerated, or assumptions based on fear rather than evidence. Many self-critical beliefs are distortions that do not reflect your true abilities or potential. By questioning them, you weaken their influence and create space to replace them with truthful, supportive messages. This process requires discipline, but gradually rewires your mind to respond with understanding rather than judgment. Replacing self-criticism with kindness requires intentional language. Choose words that are supportive, constructive, and realistic. For instance, instead of thinking, "I am terrible at this," reframe it as, "I am learning, and every step improves my skill." Positive self-talk should encourage effort, growth, and resilience, rather than perfection. This practice does not ignore mistakes. It acknowledges them while maintaining confidence and motivation. Consistently speaking kindly to yourself strengthens self-esteem and reinforces the belief that you are capable and deserving of success. A practical method to reinforce this habit is journaling. Write down moments when self-criticism arises and immediately reframe each statement with a kind, supportive alternative. Externalizing these thoughts allows you to process and correct them consciously. Over time, journaling trains your brain to notice negative patterns earlier and replace them automatically with constructive language. This written record also serves as proof of growth, demonstrating how self-kindness improves confidence, clarity, and performance. Visualization can enhance self-kindness further. Imagine yourself responding to mistakes or challenges with patience, encouragement, and understanding. Picture yourself speaking to your inner self as a trusted friend would, offering reassurance and guidance rather than judgment. Mental rehearsal strengthens neural pathways that associate setbacks with growth rather than shame. Practicing this consistently builds a natural, compassionate inner dialogue that supports decision-making, resilience, and sustained motivation. Affirmations are another powerful tool to remove self-criticism. Craft statements that reflect your strengths, efforts, and potential, and repeat them regularly. Examples include: I am capable of learning and improving. I deserve respect and kindness from myself. Or, I grow stronger with every challenge I face. Affirmations work by reinforcing constructive thought patterns and creating a mental environment that encourages confidence, self-respect, and emotional stability. Consistent repetition rewires your subconscious to prioritize encouragement over judgment. Self-kindness also involves setting realistic expectations. High standards are valuable, but when they are unattainable, they become a source of criticism and frustration. Evaluate your goals, actions, and outcomes honestly, and adjust them to align with your current abilities and circumstances. Recognize effort and progress, not just perfection. Accepting that growth is a process allows you to treat yourself with patience, celebrate incremental achievements, and maintain motivation without unnecessary self-reproach. Physical practices can reinforce a mindset of self-kindness. Simple rituals such as deep breathing, mindful movement, or taking short restorative breaks during the day can calm stress responses triggered by self-criticism. These practices create mental space, reduce reactivity, and foster a compassionate inner state. When your body is relaxed and centered, it becomes easier to speak kindly to yourself and respond to challenges with clarity rather than judgment. Surrounding yourself with supportive influences strengthens self-kindness. Engage with people, content, and environments that model respect, encouragement, and constructive feedback. Positive external input reinforces internal dialogue, making it easier to internalize kindness rather than criticism. Avoid sources that amplify self-doubt, comparison, or judgment. By consciously curating your environment, you reinforce mental habits that promote confidence, resilience, and emotional balance. Celebrating successes, even minor ones, reinforces the practice of speaking kindly to yourself. Acknowledge your efforts, improvements, and accomplishments regularly. Recognition of achievements validates your worth and creates a cycle of motivation, confidence, and positivity. When self-kindness becomes associated with tangible progress and accomplishment, it becomes an automatic self-sustaining habit that enhances both emotional stability and goal attainment. Reflection is a vital part of this practice. At the end of each day, review moments where self-criticism arose and evaluate how you responded. Identify patterns, triggers, and effective strategies that helped redirect negative thoughts into supportive ones. Reflection strengthens self-awareness, reinforces constructive behavior, and ensures that kindness toward yourself evolves alongside personal growth. By reflecting consistently, you build an intentional, disciplined habit of nurturing your inner voice. Practical exercises to strengthen self-kindness include pausing before responding to self-critical thoughts, writing down reframed statements, repeating affirmations, visualizing supportive responses, and journaling progress. Combining these techniques creates a comprehensive framework that trains the mind to prioritize encouragement, understanding, and resilience over judgment, fear, or doubt. Repeated application reinforces neural pathways and establishes a sustainable, empowering mental environment. Ultimately, speaking kindly to yourself and removing self-criticism is a lifelong practice that transforms confidence, motivation, and emotional stability. Your inner dialogue directs attention, shapes perception, and influences decision-making. By deliberately cultivating a compassionate, supportive voice, you increase resilience, enhance focus, and strengthen self-belief. Every act of self-kindness is an investment in your growth, potential, and overall well-being. Through Through awareness, intentional language reflection, and consistent practice, you replace destructive criticism with empowering support, creating a mind and life aligned with confidence, purpose, and fulfillment. Chapter 9. Invest in learning new skills to boost self-esteem. Mastering new skills is one of the most effective ways to build confidence, expand your potential, and strengthen self-esteem. Every skill you acquire enhances your ability to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and contribute meaningfully in various areas of life. Learning is not merely about accumulating knowledge, it is an active process that demonstrates your commitment to growth, discipline, and self-improvement. Investing time, energy, and focus into developing abilities reinforces a sense of competence, self-reliance, and personal achievement, all of which fuel long-term confidence and motivation. The first step is to identify skills that align with your goals and values. Consider what areas of life you want to improve, whether personal, professional, or creative. Prioritize skills that provide practical benefits while also inspiring curiosity and enthusiasm. When the learning process feels relevant and meaningful, you are more likely to remain committed and make consistent progress. This clarity ensures that your investment of time and energy produces tangible growth and enhances self-esteem. Begin by breaking the skill into manageable steps. Large or complex abilities can feel overwhelming, so dividing them into smaller components makes learning achievable. Each completed step becomes evidence of progress, reinforcing confidence and reducing discouragement. For instance, if you aim to learn a new language, focus first on basic vocabulary, then grammar, then conversational practice. Incremental progress provides structure, motivation, and measurable results that demonstrate your capability and persistence. Consistency is crucial in skill development. Regular practice reinforces learning, strengthens neural connections, and improves mastery over time. Set aside dedicated periods daily or weekly to focus solely on your chosen skill. Even short, deliberate sessions are more effective than infrequent extended efforts because consistent repetition builds momentum and deepens understanding. By making skill development a habitual part of your routine, you create steady progress that fuels both competence and self-confidence. Embrace the process of learning with curiosity rather than fear of failure. Mistakes are a natural and necessary part of acquiring new abilities. Each error provides feedback, insight, and an opportunity for refinement. Viewing challenges as growth opportunities fosters resilience, adaptability, and problem-solving skills. When you approach learning with openness, setbacks no longer diminish self-esteem. They reinforce your commitment, effort, and capacity to improve. Seek resources and guidance that accelerate learning. Books, online courses, mentors, workshops, and hands-on practice provide structured paths to skill acquisition. Surrounding yourself with knowledgeable sources and supportive instructors reduces frustration and ensures that your efforts are efficient and productive. Guidance and feedback help identify blind spots, correct mistakes early, and maintain motivation, making skill development a smoother, more rewarding process. Track your progress to reinforce confidence. Keeping records of achievements, improvements, and milestones creates tangible evidence of competence. Journaling, charts, or digital logs provide visual proof of growth and highlight the value of consistent effort. Recognizing advancement, even in small increments, strengthens self-belief and motivates continued dedication. Progress tracking turns abstract effort into observable outcomes, confirming that learning produces real, measurable results. Apply new skills in real-world contexts to solidify learning and boost self-esteem. Practicing in practical situations demonstrates capability, builds confidence, and reinforces knowledge retention. Whether presenting a project, cooking a meal, or engaging in a conversation in a new language. Active application bridges theory and action. Successes in these contexts validate your competence, cultivate pride, and further motivate pursuit of mastery. Investing in skill development also strengthens autonomy. As you acquire abilities, reliance on external support diminishes, and your sense of control increases. Competence in multiple areas of life enhances decision-making, problem-solving, and independence. This growth in self-reliance directly elevates self-esteem as you recognize your capacity to influence outcomes and handle challenges effectively. Each skill acquired becomes a building block for confidence, resilience, and personal power. Learning skills promotes mental agility and adaptability. The process of acquiring new abilities challenges your brain, improves focus, and encourages flexible thinking. Exposure to diverse concepts and techniques expands perspective, enhances creativity, and fosters innovative problem-solving. As your mind becomes more capable, your self-image strengthens, reinforcing a sense of capability, competence, and readiness for future challenges. Mental growth supports self-esteem by confirming your potential for continuous development. Celebrate achievements along the way. Acknowledging milestones and progress reinforces the value of your effort and demonstrates self-respect. Celebrations can be simple, such as taking a moment to reflect on improvement, sharing success with a mentor, or rewarding yourself for reaching a specific target. Recognizing accomplishments validates the investment you have made in yourself and encourages continued effort, creating a positive feedback loop that strengthens confidence. Overcome fear of inadequacy by focusing on incremental growth. Skill acquisition is not about instant mastery but about consistent improvement. By valuing progress over perfection, you cultivate patience, persistence, and resilience. Each small success affirms capability and reinforces the belief that you can learn, adapt, and grow in any area of life. This mindset transforms uncertainty into opportunity, reducing self-doubt and fostering a proactive approach to challenges. Investing in skills also strengthens social and professional influence. Competence attracts trust, respect, and collaboration from others. As your abilities expand, you contribute more effectively to projects, discussions, and problem-solving, reinforcing a sense of purpose and self-worth. Recognition from others serves as affirmation of your capabilities, enhancing self-esteem while motivating continued growth and effort. Pair skill development with reflection to maximize benefits. Regularly review what you have learned, how you applied it, and areas for further improvement. Reflection deepens understanding, reinforces progress, and identifies adjustments that increase effectiveness. It also allows recognition of the broader impact of your efforts on personal growth, confidence, and resilience. Reflection ensures that your investment of time and energy produces meaningful and lasting results. Engage with communities or networks related to your skills. Interaction with peers, mentors, or groups pursuing similar goals provides motivation, accountability, and support. Sharing experiences, seeking guidance, and exchanging knowledge enriches the learning process and creates opportunities for practical application. Community engagement also reinforces confidence as you contribute insights, demonstrate competence, and receive feedback that validates your growth. Finally, recognize that investing in skill development is a lifelong commitment. Continual learning ensures that self-esteem remains grounded in competence, adaptability, and growth, rather than fleeting achievements. Every new ability reinforces your capability, resilience, and self-respect, producing a durable foundation for confidence in all areas of life. Lifelong learning transforms potential into achievement and positions you to approach challenges with assurance, creativity, and unwavering self-belief. Ultimately, Investing in learning new skills is a deliberate act of empowerment. Each effort strengthens competence, builds confidence, and reinforces self-esteem. Through awareness, structured practice, incremental progress, real-world application, and consistent reflection, skill acquisition transforms your sense of capability and personal value. Every step forward, no matter how small, proves that you are capable, adaptable, and deserving of success. The practice of learning, applying, and celebrating growth ensures that self-esteem becomes a natural outcome of deliberate effort, curiosity, and determination. Chapter 10. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. The people you spend time with shape your thoughts, energy, and the trajectory of your life, so choosing to surround yourself with those who uplift and inspire you is one of the most important decisions you can make. Positive influences act as catalysts for growth, motivation, and self-confidence. When you are around individuals who encourage effort, celebrate progress, and model resilience, their energy reinforces your own, propelling you toward your goals. On the other hand, negative or draining relationships can quietly undermine confidence, sap energy, and limit potential. Being intentional about the company you keep is a powerful form of self-respect and personal empowerment. The first step is awareness of your current social environment. Observe how interactions make you feel, the energy you absorb, and the influence others have on your mindset. Do certain people consistently leave you feeling discouraged, anxious, or diminished? Do others inspire, challenge, or motivate you to become better? Identifying the impact of your relationships creates clarity about who to spend more time with and who may require boundaries or distance. Understanding this influence allows you to take deliberate steps toward a supportive social ecosystem. Once you recognize your ideal social circle, actively seek individuals who align with your values and aspirations. Surround yourself with people who demonstrate integrity, resilience, curiosity, and positivity. Seek mentors who provide guidance, friends who encourage progress, and colleagues who model excellence. Uplifting people inspire action by demonstrating possibility, sharing knowledge, and motivating consistent effort. The quality of those around you directly impacts your personal growth and confidence. Intentional engagement is crucial. Quality matters more than quantity. Spending meaningful time with even a few supportive individuals can outweigh countless casual interactions that add no value. Prioritize relationships that challenge you positively, offer constructive feedback, and encourage self-improvement. Invest energy in cultivating these connections through regular communication, collaboration, and shared experiences. Strong, positive relationships create an environment where growth, inspiration, and motivation naturally flourish. It is also important to establish boundaries with negative influences. Some people may consistently drain your energy, foster self-doubt, or diminish your confidence. Protecting your time and energy from these interactions is essential for maintaining focus, resilience, and emotional balance. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, signaling that your growth and well-being are non-negotiable priorities. Boundaries are not about hostility, they are about creating space for relationships that uplift and support your journey. Positive social influence enhances accountability. When you are surrounded by motivated and inspiring people, their habits, values, and energy influence your own. Observing their discipline, problem-solving, and focus encourages you to adopt similar behaviors. Constructive social interactions provide reminders of your goals, reinforce self-belief, and maintain momentum in pursuing your aspirations. Being accountable to a supportive circle accelerates progress and solidifies consistent action toward improvement. Sharing goals and progress with uplifting individuals amplifies motivation. When you communicate your ambitions, achievements and challenges to supportive peers or mentors, you receive encouragement, perspective, and validation. Their input provides new insights, celebrates success, and offers guidance for overcoming obstacles. External acknowledgement strengthens confidence and reinforces the value of your efforts. Celebrating milestones with those who inspire you magnifies the sense of accomplishment and reinforces commitment to personal growth. Surrounding yourself with inspiring people also fosters creativity and innovation. Engaging with individuals who approach challenges differently, think critically, and explore new ideas stimulates your own problem-solving and imagination. Exposure to diverse perspectives broadens understanding, encourages learning, and inspires experimentation. Collaborative energy and shared enthusiasm fuel momentum, enabling you to achieve goals with clarity and confidence. The presence of uplifting minds creates an environment where growth becomes contagious and sustained. Intentional social engagement includes contributing positively as well. Relationships thrive when support is reciprocal. Encourage, motivate, and celebrate the successes of those around you. Offering genuine positivity strengthens bonds, reinforces shared growth, and amplifies the energy within the circle. By uplifting others, you create a cycle of encouragement, inspiration, and accountability that benefits both you and those in your network. Mutual reinforcement ensures that the social environment remains empowering and dynamic. Physical and digital spaces matter. Limit exposure to social media or online communities that foster comparison, negativity, or judgment. Seek platforms, forums, or groups that provide encouragement, learning, and connection with like-minded individuals. Digital habits influence mental energy, focus, and motivation just as much as in-person relationships. Curating an online environment that mirrors uplifting real-life connections supports consistent growth and inspiration. Observation and learning from inspiring people is another key practice. Pay attention to their strategies, mindset, and approach to challenges. Notice how they respond to setbacks, maintain motivation, and set priorities. Learning from example provides practical guidance and insight into behaviors that drive success. Applying lessons observed in positive peers strengthens skills, confidence, and resilience. Inspiration becomes actionable when you integrate their approaches into your own life. Celebrate relationships that fuel growth. Express gratitude, acknowledge their influence, and invest in the bond consistently. Meaningful recognition strengthens connection, reinforces positive behaviors, and sustains the mutual support essential for long-term motivation. Appreciation ensures that these relationships remain a source of inspiration rather than passive association. By actively nurturing uplifting connections, you create a reliable support system for ongoing development and achievement. Engaging with inspiring individuals challenges complacency. They provide constructive critique, encourage stepping beyond comfort zones, and highlight potential you may overlook. Being in proximity to motivated, successful, and growth-oriented people pushes you to expand your own limits. This dynamic reduces stagnation, fosters continuous improvement, and reinforces the pursuit of excellence in all areas of life. Ultimately, surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you is a deliberate act of empowerment. The company you keep shapes mindset, influences behavior, and directs energy. Intentional selection, boundary setting, and active engagement create an environment where confidence, motivation, and personal growth thrive. Through observation, collaboration, reflection, and mutual support, positive relationships amplify your potential and accelerate progress. Choosing uplifting connections ensures that your journey towards self-improvement is reinforced by energy, wisdom, and inspiration that fuels action, resilience, and achievement. Chapter 11. Take responsibility for your choices and personal growth. Your life changes the moment you take full responsibility for your choices and commit to your own growth. Personal empowerment begins with the recognition that you are the primary architect of your experiences, decisions, and outcome. Blaming circumstances, other people, or external forces only delays progress and keeps potential untapped. Every decision you make, no matter how small, carries consequences that shape your future. Embracing responsibility for these choices transforms challenges into opportunities, mistakes into lessons, and goals into achievable results. The first step is honest self-reflection. Examine your decisions, behaviors, and outcomes without judgment or excuses. Identify patterns where responsibility has been avoided and consider how taking ownership could produce better results. Reflection requires courage and clarity. It allows you to see where influence begins and ends, and to acknowledge that your actions, responses, and habits determine much of your life's trajectory. This clarity is essential for personal growth because it shifts focus from blame to solution-oriented thinking. Next, accept the consequences of your choices fully. Accountability is not about self-punishment, but about understanding cause and effect. Recognize how past decisions, whether successful or flawed, have contributed to your current circumstances. Acceptance fosters clarity and control, empowering you to learn, adapt, and make improvements. When you confront reality honestly, you gain the freedom to act deliberately, rather than react passively to circumstances outside your control. Set clear intentions for personal growth. Identify the skills, habits, or attitudes that will elevate your life and align with your long-term goals. Responsibility is active, not passive. It demands deliberate effort to improve. By defining what growth looks like for you, you create a roadmap that links decisions with outcomes. This intentional approach ensures that choices are made with purpose, direction, and accountability, rather than leaving your future to chance. Develop self-discipline to follow through on your commitments. Responsibility is meaningless without consistent action. Commit to routines, habits, and behaviors that support your growth and align with your goals. Even small daily actions accumulate into significant results over time. Discipline reinforces accountability, demonstrates reliability to yourself, and strengthens confidence in your ability to create the life you desire. Each step taken consistently builds momentum and reinforces the value of ownership. Learn from mistakes rather than denying or deflecting them. Every error contains valuable insight that guides better decision-making in the future. Examine what went wrong, why it happened, and how you can improve. Viewing mistakes as lessons transforms setbacks into tools for growth. Taking responsibility for errors reduces fear of failure and encourages experimentation, risk-taking, and resilience, all crucial for developing competence and confidence. Hold yourself to high standards without external validation. True responsibility is internal and requires self-motivation. Rely on your principles, goals, and personal integrity to guide decisions rather than seeking constant approval or blame avoidance from others. Self-reliance fosters maturity, strengthens decision-making, and builds trust in your judgment. Internal accountability ensures that your growth is authentic, sustainable, and driven by purpose rather than external pressures or expectations. Track progress regularly to maintain accountability. Recording decisions, actions, and outcomes provides insight into patterns, strengths, and areas for improvement. It creates a feedback loop that reinforces responsible behavior and highlights the impact of choices over time. Progress tracking encourages reflection, celebration of growth, and corrective adjustments where necessary. This practice turns abstract responsibility into concrete, measurable action that drives continual improvement. Surround yourself with people who reinforce accountability. Engaging with mentors, peers, or colleagues who value responsibility and growth provides guidance, constructive feedback, and motivation. Positive influence strengthens commitment, reduces complacency, and models behaviors that support self-directed improvement. Accountability partners ensure that responsibility is not only a concept, but an actively maintained standard in daily life. Their presence reinforces consistent progress and adherence to personal goals. Prioritize proactive decision-making. Avoid postponing choices or allowing circumstances to dictate outcomes. Taking responsibility means acting deliberately rather than reacting passively. Evaluate options, anticipate consequences, and make informed decisions that reflect your values and objectives. Proactivity fosters control over your environment, enhances confidence, and demonstrates commitment to personal growth. Each choice becomes an opportunity to shape your life intentionally and constructively. Adopt a growth mindset in every aspect of life. Believing that your abilities, habits, and intelligence can improve through effort reinforces responsibility. A fixed mindset often leads to excuses, avoidance, and blame. A growth-oriented perspective encourages continuous learning, perseverance, and ownership of outcomes. When you accept that development is a product of effort and decision-making, taking responsibility becomes empowering rather than burdensome. Commit to long-term consistency. Responsibility is not a one-time action, but a sustained practice. Continually assess choices, refine habits, and reinforce positive behaviors that contribute to personal and professional growth. Consistency compounds results, strengthens integrity, and cultivates trust in your ability to control your own life. Each day you take ownership, you build resilience, competence, and confidence that carry forward into every endeavor. Forgive yourself for past missteps while maintaining accountability. Holding on to guilt or shame undermines growth and clouds judgment. Accept past mistakes, extract lessons, and redirect focus toward constructive action. Responsibility does not mean harsh self-punishment. It means honest assessment and corrective action. Balancing accountability with self-compassion ensures that personal growth is sustainable and psychologically healthy. Ultimately, taking responsibility for your choices and personal growth empowers you to live deliberately rather than reactively. Every decision, habit, and action becomes an opportunity to shape your reality, strengthen confidence, and expand your potential. By practicing reflection, acceptance, self-discipline, proactive decision-making, and consistent effort, you cultivate a life driven by intention, mastery, and resilience. Responsibility transforms challenges into opportunities, mistakes into lessons, and potential into achievement. The path to personal growth begins and continues with the unwavering commitment to own your choices and fully engage with the process of becoming your best self. Chapter 12. Prioritize physical health to strengthen body and mind. Your body is the foundation of everything you do, and prioritizing physical health is one of the most powerful ways to strengthen both mind and spirit. True vitality comes from consistent care, intentional movement, and nourishing your body with the fuel it needs to perform at its best. Physical health is not just about appearance or fitness. It directly impacts energy, focus, resilience, and emotional well-being. Every choice you make regarding sleep, nutrition, exercise, and recovery either builds strength or erodes potential. By committing to prioritize your body, you create the conditions for mental clarity, emotional stability, and long-term growth in every area of life. The first step is awareness of your current health status. Evaluate your energy levels, stamina, diet, sleep patterns, and physical capabilities. Honest self-assessment allows you to identify strengths, weaknesses, and areas that require attention. Understanding where you stand provides a starting point for deliberate improvement and ensures that your actions are aligned with real needs rather than assumptions or trends. Awareness also highlights habits that may be draining your energy or hindering performance, so you can replace them with constructive routines. Nutrition is a cornerstone of physical and mental strength. Your body requires essential nutrients to function optimally, and the quality of your diet directly affects energy, focus, and resilience. Prioritize whole foods rich in vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, and proteins. Reduce processed foods, excessive sugar, and empty calories that compromise energy and mood. Eating consciously and consistently fuels both body and brain, ensuring that you have the capacity to pursue goals, think clearly, and maintain emotional stability. Proper nutrition is a daily investment in your ability to perform and thrive. Exercise is equally crucial for maintaining vitality and mental clarity. Regular movement strengthens muscles, bones, and cardiovascular systems, while releasing endorphins that enhance mood and reduce stress. Find forms of physical activity that challenge your body while remaining enjoyable, whether it's weight training, yoga, running, or cycling. Consistency matters more than intensity. Daily or frequent exercise trains discipline, improves endurance, and creates a sense of accomplishment that spills over into other areas of life. Physical effort reinforces confidence and mental resilience by demonstrating what your body is capable of achieving. Sleep is a non-negotiable element of health that directly impacts mental performance, emotional regulation, and physical recovery. Quality sleep allows the body to repair itself, the mind to process information, and emotions to stabilize. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of restful sleep each night by creating routines that support consistency, such as a regular bedtime, limiting screens before rest, and maintaining a calm environment. Neglecting sleep undermines progress in fitness, focus, and productivity, while disciplined rest enhances energy, clarity, and decision-making capacity. Hydration supports every function in the body and mind. Water is essential for circulation, digestion, temperature regulation, and cognitive performance. Consistently drinking sufficient fluids maintains energy levels, focus, and mental clarity. Dehydration impairs concentration, increases fatigue, and heightens irritability. Prioritizing hydration is a simple yet profound step toward maintaining optimal health and sustaining the capacity to take effective action in all areas of life. Physical health also requires mindful stress management. Chronic stress negatively impacts energy, immune function, and cognitive performance. Incorporate practices such as meditation, deep breathing, mindful movement, or outdoor time to regulate stress levels. By managing stress, you maintain balance, prevent burnout, and protect both body and mind from long-term harm. A body free from excessive stress is better equipped to adapt, perform, and respond to challenges with clarity and calm. Building physical resilience involves gradual progression. Push your limits responsibly while respecting the body's signals. Avoid extreme shortcuts or unsustainable routines. Incremental improvement strengthens muscles, stamina, and cardiovascular systems without risking injury or discouragement. Progress over perfection ensures that the body becomes stronger over time and that mental confidence grows alongside physical capability. Each step forward, whether lifting slightly heavier, running slightly farther, or increasing flexibility, reinforces the mind-body connection and a sense of personal accomplishment. Accountability enhances physical health efforts. Track workouts, nutrition, sleep, and hydration to measure progress. Journaling or digital logging provides tangible feedback, identifies patterns, and motivates consistency. Sharing goals with supportive peers, trainers, or mentors increases commitment and encourages accountability. When progress is monitored and celebrated, it reinforces self-discipline, builds confidence, and motivates sustained effort. Tangible evidence of improvement strengthens belief in your ability to maintain both physical and mental well-being. Mindful recovery is as essential as active effort. Allow time for the body to repair, muscles to rebuild, and energy levels to reset. Recovery practices such as stretching, massage, or gentle activity reduce injury risk, improve performance, and enhance long-term resilience. Respecting recovery ensures that physical training contributes to strength rather than fatigue, and reinforces a disciplined approach to body maintenance that aligns with mental clarity and sustained focus. Consistency is the key to long-term health. Short bursts of effort yield temporary results, but sustainable habits create lasting impact. Daily attention to nutrition, movement, rest, and hydration compounds over time, resulting in noticeable improvements in energy, strength, and mental performance. Prioritizing physical health consistently demonstrates discipline, reinforces self-respect, and strengthens the belief that deliberate action produces real outcomes. Each day of consistent care solidifies the foundation for mental and emotional resilience. Physical health also influences emotional well-being. Regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and adequate rest enhance mood, reduce anxiety, and improve cognitive function. A strong, well-maintained body supports a positive mindset, reinforces confidence, and allows you to face challenges with composure. Neglecting health, by contrast, creates vulnerability to stress, fatigue, and negative thinking. Investing in physical well-being ensures that the mind and emotions are supported by a robust, energetic foundation. Finally, treating the body as a priority is an act of self-respect. Your physical health determines your ability to act, pursue goals, and enjoy life fully. Every decision to move, nourish, hydrate, rest, and recover reflects intentionality and care. Prioritizing these practices builds a resilient body, sharp mind, and confident spirit, creating a life capable of sustained effort, focus, and achievement. Physical health is not an isolated goal. It is the essential platform from which all personal growth, ambition, and fulfillment are launched. Chapter 13. Meditate daily to increase focus and inner peace. Meditation is a powerful tool that strengthens focus, calms the mind, and cultivates a lasting sense of inner peace. Committing to daily practice transforms the way you respond to stress, make decisions, and navigate the complexities of life. It is not about escaping reality, but about engaging with it fully from a place of clarity, awareness, and calm. Consistent meditation trains the mind to observe thoughts without attachment, manage emotions effectively, and maintain composure in challenging situations. By dedicating time to this practice, you build mental resilience, sharpen concentration, and create a stable foundation for personal growth. The first step is establishing a consistent daily practice. Choose a time each day that allows for uninterrupted focus, whether in the morning to set the tone for the day or in the evening to release tension. Consistency reinforces the habit and signals to your mind that meditation is a priority. Even short sessions of 10 to 20 minutes are effective when practiced regularly. The key is commitment, not duration. Daily repetition compounds over time, producing measurable improvements in mental clarity and emotional stability. Begin each session by finding a comfortable position that supports relaxation without sleepiness. Focus on posture and breathing to anchor awareness. Attention to the body creates a connection between physical presence and mental focus. By tuning into your breath, you establish a point of concentration that stabilizes the mind. Awareness of bodily sensations enhances mindfulness and helps you remain anchored in the present moment, reducing distractions and scattered thoughts. The practice of observing thoughts without judgment is central to meditation. Thoughts will naturally arise, but the goal is not to control or eliminate them. Instead, notice their presence, acknowledge them, and gently return attention to your point of focus, such as the breath, a mantra, or bodily sensations. This process strengthens self-discipline, cultivates patience, and reduces mental clutter. Over time, the mind becomes less reactive, more deliberate, and capable of sustained focus in daily activities. Visualization techniques can enhance meditation by creating mental clarity and emotional balance. Picture yourself handling challenges calmly, achieving goals with confidence, or experiencing a state of peace. Visualization reinforces positive outcomes and strengthens the connection between intention and action. By consistently integrating this practice, you train your mind to respond proactively rather than reactively, supporting personal growth, motivation, and resilience. Meditation also improves emotional regulation. By observing thoughts and feelings without immediate reaction, you develop the ability to manage stress, frustration, and anxiety effectively. This heightened emotional awareness fosters stability, reduces impulsive behavior, and increases empathy for yourself and others. Inner peace emerges as a natural result of consistent observation and non-attachment, allowing you to respond to life with balance and clarity rather than distraction or agitation. Incorporating mindfulness into daily routines extends the benefits of meditation beyond formal sessions. Practice awareness while walking, eating, or completing tasks by focusing on sensations, actions, and surroundings. Mindful engagement strengthens concentration, improves memory, and enhances appreciation for the present. This integration ensures that meditation is not isolated, but becomes a continuous process that enriches every aspect of life, from work to relationships and personal pursuits. Tracking progress enhances motivation and reinforces the value of meditation. Journaling experiences, noting changes in focus, emotional stability, or clarity provides tangible evidence of improvement. Reflection helps identify techniques that work best, areas that require adjustment, and the cumulative effect of consistent practice. Awareness of growth reinforces commitment, strengthens confidence, and validates the effort invested in daily meditation. Meditation cultivates resilience by training the mind to endure discomfort and uncertainty without reactive stress. Practicing stillness, patience, and focus during challenging sessions translates into real-world strength when facing difficulties. You learn to observe without judgment, adapt without panic, and act with deliberate intention. This resilience extends to decision-making, problem-solving, and maintaining composure under pressure, enhancing overall effectiveness and self-trust. Integrating meditation with breathwork enhances its impact on mental clarity and calm. Deep, controlled breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reducing stress, lowering heart rate, and increasing oxygen flow to the brain. Breath-focused meditation creates a physiological anchor that reinforces mental focus, supports relaxation, and heightens awareness. By combining mindful observation with intentional breathing, you strengthen both mind and body in unison. Consistency over perfection ensures long-term benefits. Some sessions may feel easier than others, and distractions are natural. The act of returning to focus each time, regardless of interruptions, reinforces discipline and strengthens mental endurance. Progress is measured by persistence and cumulative growth, rather than immediate mastery. Each session contributes to a deeper sense of peace, sharper focus, and greater mental clarity, building an enduring foundation for personal development. Meditation also enhances creativity and problem-solving. A calm and focused mind can analyze information more clearly, generate solutions with clarity, and approach challenges without emotional bias. By reducing mental noise, meditation allows ideas and insights to surface naturally, supporting innovation and effective decision-making. This mental flexibility strengthens confidence in your ability to handle complexity and uncertainty in life. The benefits of meditation extend to physical health as well. Reduced stress levels, improved sleep quality, and better focus contribute to overall wellness. Mindfulness practices support immune function, lower blood pressure, and increase energy levels. A healthy body reinforces mental clarity, creating a feedback loop where physical and mental resilience strengthen each other. By prioritizing meditation, you enhance both mind and body, amplifying your capacity to pursue goals effectively. Finally, daily meditation fosters a sense of inner stability that empowers every aspect of life. Consistent practice creates a mental environment of clarity, focus, and calm, reducing the influence of external distractions and emotional turbulence. This stability enhances decision-making, improves relationships, and strengthens confidence. By committing to meditation daily, you build a foundation for sustained personal growth, mental clarity, and emotional balance, ensuring that your mind is as strong, resilient, and focused as your intentions demand. Chapter 14. Act decisively on opportunities that improve your life. Opportunities are the gateways to growth, success, and personal transformation, and acting decisively on them is what separates those who thrive from those who stagnate. Life rewards bold, intentional action more than hesitation, and each moment presents a choice to move forward or remain in place. Waiting for perfect conditions or overanalyzing every detail often leads to missed potential, while swift, thoughtful action converts possibility into tangible results. Recognizing opportunities, evaluating their value, and committing to action empowers you to shape your reality, strengthen confidence, and accelerate personal growth. The first step is awareness. Opportunities are all around, but they require focus and discernment to identify. Pay attention to moments that present growth, learning, or advancement. Opportunities may come as invitations, new projects, challenges, or shifts in circumstances. Developing the habit of observation allows you to notice potential before it passes. Awareness is the foundation of decisive action because it ensures that choices are informed and aligned with your goals rather than reactive or accidental. Next, cultivate courage to act. Fear of failure, uncertainty, or judgment often paralyzes action. Recognize that hesitation costs more than calculated risk. Taking initiative demonstrates confidence in your abilities and a willingness to grow. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Each time you act decisively, your confidence strengthens, creating momentum that makes future opportunities easier to embrace. Evaluate opportunities with clarity and purpose. Not every opening is worth pursuing, so it is essential to assess alignment with your goals, values, and long-term vision. Consider the potential benefits, risks, and required effort. Decisive action is most effective when grounded in thoughtful judgment rather than impulsive reaction. Balancing speed with discernment ensures that actions produce meaningful results and contribute to sustainable personal growth. Preparation enhances decisiveness. When you are equipped with knowledge, skills, and resources, opportunities become easier to act on. Develop competencies relevant to your goals, cultivate habits that support focus and energy, and maintain clarity about priorities. Being prepared reduces hesitation and allows swift engagement when an opportunity arises. Preparation turns readiness into action, demonstrating that decisive steps are most effective when supported by deliberate effort and planning. Commit fully when taking action. Half-hearted efforts rarely produce desired outcomes and can erode confidence. Once an opportunity is identified and evaluated, engage with focus, dedication, and persistence. Clear commitment signals to yourself and others that you value growth and are willing to invest effort. Full engagement maximizes learning, achievement, and the benefits of each opportunity, while partial action often leads to regret, frustration, or wasted potential. Embrace learning from each attempt. Acting decisively does not guarantee perfect results, but it always provides feedback. Success and failure both contain valuable lessons. Evaluate outcomes objectively, extract insights, and adjust future actions accordingly. The ability to learn from each experience reinforces resilience, improves decision-making, and strengthens confidence. Acting decisively becomes a cycle of continuous improvement rather than a source of fear or pressure. Develop a proactive mindset. Rather than waiting for opportunities to present themselves, seek them actively, network, research, practice, and experiment. Proactivity ensures that you create openings rather than passively hoping they appear. Individuals who act decisively cultivate environments where opportunities are more likely to emerge. Initiative builds momentum, reinforces competence, and positions you to capitalize on favorable circumstances consistently. Overcome procrastination by breaking action into manageable steps. Large opportunities can feel intimidating, leading to hesitation. Divide tasks into smaller, achievable components that allow you to progress steadily. Each completed step strengthens confidence and reduces resistance, making decisive action feel natural rather than overwhelming. Incremental progress ensures that action is sustainable and aligned with long-term objectives. Maintain focus on long-term goals when evaluating opportunities. Immediate gains may be tempting, but alignment with overarching objectives ensures that decisions strengthen your personal growth trajectory. Acting decisively with strategic intent maximizes benefits and avoids distractions that dilute energy or attention. A clear vision acts as a guidepost, allowing swift action without compromising purpose or priorities. Balance decisiveness with adaptability. While taking action quickly is essential, remain flexible to adjust plans when necessary. Circumstances change, unexpected challenges arise, and new information emerges. Adaptability allows you to pivot without hesitation, ensuring that decisive steps remain effective even when conditions shift. This flexibility strengthens resilience, reduces wasted effort, and maintains progress toward goals. Celebrate action rather than only outcomes. Each step taken demonstrates courage, focus, and commitment. Recognizing your willingness to act reinforces confidence and reinforces the habit of decisiveness. Over time, repeated action creates a track record of growth, resilience, and achievement, demonstrating that consistent effort is more powerful than sporadic success. Confidence is built through action, not waiting for perfect conditions or guaranteed results. Use accountability to reinforce decisive behavior. Share goals and intended actions with mentors, peers, or trusted individuals who encourage commitment. Accountability increases follow-through, reduces hesitation, and provides support for navigating challenges. External reinforcement complements internal motivation and strengthens the habit of swift, confident decision-making. By creating a system of support, acting decisively becomes a reliable and repeatable pattern rather than an occasional occurrence. Finally, recognize that opportunities are transient. Delaying action often results in missed potential, as circumstances, timing, or resources change. Swift engagement demonstrates respect for both your goals and the possibilities available. Acting decisively transforms potential into tangible results, strengthens confidence, and ensures continuous progress. Each opportunity embraced adds to experience, skill, and personal growth, creating a life defined by momentum, achievement, and empowered decision-making. Chapter 15. Release fear and embrace challenges to build courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it, and embracing challenges is the fastest way to build lasting bravery. Fear often disguises itself as reason, hesitation, or doubt, but it can only control you if you allow it to dominate your decisions. Every time you confront a difficulty, step into the unknown, or push beyond comfort, you strengthen the inner muscles that create confidence and resilience. Challenges are opportunities disguised as obstacles, and facing them head-on teaches lessons that cannot be learned through avoidance or passivity. By releasing fear and embracing challenges, you cultivate the courage necessary to pursue meaningful goals and transform your life. The first step is recognizing and naming your fears. Awareness is the foundation of control, because unacknowledged fear silently dictates behavior. Take time to examine what truly holds you back. Is it fear of failure, judgment, or the unknown? Once identified, fears lose some of their power and become manageable rather than overwhelming. Naming fear allows you to approach it deliberately, turning an invisible barrier into a tangible target for action. Next, reframe your perception of challenges. Difficult situations are not threats to avoid, but opportunities to grow, learn, and prove your capabilities. Viewing challenges through this lens transforms apprehension into motivation. Obstacles become markers of potential progress rather than insurmountable walls. This mindset shift allows courage to emerge naturally as you understand that discomfort is a signal for growth rather than a reason to retreat. Take incremental action against fear. Courage grows through experience, not mere intention. Begin with small steps that stretch your limits without overwhelming you. Each deliberate action against fear builds confidence and reinforces the belief that you can handle uncertainty. Gradually increasing the complexity or intensity of challenges ensures that fear diminishes while capability and bravery expand. This progressive approach creates sustainable growth and prevents paralysis by intimidation. Visualize success before confronting challenges. Mental rehearsal strengthens the mind and prepares it for action. Picture yourself facing obstacles calmly, overcoming difficulties, and achieving desired outcomes. Visualization builds familiarity with the unknown, reducing anxiety and increasing confidence. By imagining success, you train the mind to expect competence rather than failure, reinforcing courage and reducing the perceived threat of challenges. Develop a strategy for facing difficulties. Courage is more than instinct. It is disciplined action. Break challenges into manageable components. Plan responses and anticipate potential hurdles. Preparation reduces uncertainty, increases control, and makes decisive action possible. A well-structured approach transforms fear into focus, allowing you to act deliberately instead of reacting impulsively. Strategy amplifies the effectiveness of courage by aligning action with intention. Embrace discomfort as part of the growth process. Avoiding unpleasant situations may provide short-term relief, but it erodes confidence over time. Seek experiences that push boundaries, require effort, or involve risk. The more you practice enduring discomfort constructively, the more your capacity to handle adversity strengthens. Each encounter with challenge builds resilience and reinforces the understanding that fear is temporary while the benefits of courageous action are lasting. Learn from failures without judgment. Every attempt carries the possibility of mistakes, but mistakes are not the opposite of courage. they are a component of it. Examine what went wrong, extract lessons, and apply them to future endeavors. Courage grows when failure is seen as information rather than a threat. Embracing challenges with a willingness to fail transforms fear into a tool for development rather than a barrier. Surround yourself with supportive influences. People who model bravery, take risks, and face adversity provide inspiration and guidance. Observing their approach to challenges teaches practical strategies for confronting your own fears. Supportive peers encourage action, provide constructive feedback, and celebrate courageous efforts. Positive influence reinforces the habit of embracing challenges and reduces the isolation that fear often creates. Maintain focus on your purpose. Courage is strengthened when anchored in meaningful goals. Fear loses its intensity when you are committed to something greater than immediate discomfort. Clarifying your objectives and values provides motivation to act despite apprehension. When challenges threaten to intimidate, returning to purpose restores focus, aligns energy, and fuels the resolve to move forward. Purpose turns fear into direction rather than an obstacle. Use self-talk to reinforce bravery. Replace thoughts of doubt or hesitation with statements that affirm capability and resolve. Mentally remind yourself of past successes, strengths, and preparation. Positive internal dialogue strengthens confidence and diminishes the hold of fear. Speaking with conviction internally primes the mind for decisive action and reinforces the psychological framework necessary to face challenges with courage. Consistency is key in building courage. Each challenge faced, no matter how small, compounds over time. Courage is not a one-time decision, but a habit cultivated through repeated action. Regular exposure to discomfort, risk, or uncertainty trains the mind to remain composed and the body to act effectively. Over time, what once felt intimidating becomes manageable, and fear diminishes as experience and capability grow. Reflect on the growth gained from each challenge. Take note of skills learned, resilience built, and confidence strengthened. Reflection reinforces the value of courage and motivates further action. Recognizing tangible progress validates the effort and demonstrates that embracing fear produces measurable benefits. This conscious acknowledgement strengthens determination and creates a positive feedback loop for future challenges. Ultimately, releasing fear and embracing challenges is a deliberate practice that shapes character, strengthens confidence, and expands potential. Fear cannot be eliminated entirely, but it can be managed, harnessed, and transformed into fuel for growth. Facing challenges intentionally builds courage, reinforces resilience, and equips you to pursue ambitious goals without hesitation. Each act of bravery strengthens belief in your ability to handle uncertainty and creates momentum toward a life defined by action, achievement, and unwavering self-confidence. Chapter 16. Forgive yourself and others to cultivate emotional freedom. Forgiveness is the key to freeing your mind and heart from the weight of past mistakes and lingering resentment, and it begins with the decision to release what no longer serves you. Holding on to guilt, anger, or grudges limits your growth, clouds judgment, and drains emotional energy that could be used to create a better present and future. Forgiving yourself and others is not a sign of weakness or approval of wrongdoing. It is a deliberate act of courage, self-respect, and liberation. Emotional freedom arises when you let go of burdens that tether you to past pain and commit to living with clarity, balance, and intention. The first step is self-awareness. Take a sincere inventory of past actions, decisions, and experiences that continue to generate guilt, regret, or resentment. Recognize how these feelings affect your thoughts, behaviors, and relationships. Understanding the specific sources of emotional tension allows you to address them directly rather than allowing them to simmer unconsciously. Awareness empowers you to make intentional choices toward healing rather than remaining trapped in patterns of blame or self-criticism. Forgiving yourself begins with accepting responsibility without self-condemnation. Acknowledge mistakes honestly, identify lessons learned, and recognize the growth that results from imperfection. Self-forgiveness is about understanding that being human involves errors and that mistakes are opportunities for insight and improvement. By releasing harsh judgment, you create space for self-compassion, renewed motivation, and constructive action that strengthens confidence and resilience. Shift perspective to view past experiences as learning rather than punishment. Every challenge, failure, or misstep carries information that contributes to wisdom and personal development. By reframing mistakes as valuable feedback, you neutralize their emotional power and redirect energy toward growth. This mental shift transforms regret into a tool for improvement rather than a source of ongoing suffering, allowing you to move forward with clarity and purpose. Extend forgiveness to others with empathy and understanding. Recognize that people act according to their own experiences, limitations, and perspectives. Resentment often keeps you tethered to someone else's actions, giving them ongoing control over your emotions. By choosing to forgive, you reclaim authority over your feelings and restore emotional balance. Forgiveness does not require reconciliation or continued contact. It simply releases the influence of past harm on your well-being. Practice reflection and emotional processing. Allow yourself to feel the emotions connected to past events fully and without judgment. Writing, journaling, or speaking with a trusted confidant helps clarify feelings, identify patterns, and facilitate the release of pent-up tension. Processing emotions consciously prevents them from unconsciously affecting behavior and strengthens the ability to forgive effectively. Emotional clarity fosters a sense of peace and stability that supports personal growth. Set boundaries when necessary to protect your healing. Forgiveness does not mean allowing repeated harm or remaining in toxic situations. Determine limits that safeguard your well-being while maintaining emotional release. Healthy boundaries ensure that forgiveness becomes a tool for empowerment rather than a justification for continued suffering. By combining forgiveness with discernment, you cultivate freedom while maintaining self-respect and security. Incorporate mindful practices to reinforce forgiveness. Meditation, breathing exercises, or visualization techniques allow you to release negative energy and reinforce a compassionate mindset. Picture yourself letting go of resentment, embracing understanding, and feeling lighter emotionally. These practices strengthen the neural pathways associated with empathy, emotional regulation, and resilience, making forgiveness a habitual and natural response rather than a struggle. Recognize the cumulative benefits of forgiveness. Letting go of past grievances improves mental clarity, reduces stress, and enhances focus on personal goals. Emotional freedom allows energy to be directed toward constructive action, creativity, and meaningful relationships. Forgiveness strengthens self-esteem, reduces anxiety, and promotes a sense of inner peace that permeates every area of life. By releasing negativity, you create space for growth, joy, and sustained personal development. Commit to ongoing practice. Forgiveness is not always instantaneous, and old habits of judgment or resentment may resurface. Regular reflection, mindful awareness, and conscious decision-making reinforce the habit of letting go. Over time, repeated practice cultivates a default response of compassion toward yourself and others, creating enduring emotional resilience and freedom. Each deliberate act of forgiveness reinforces self-mastery and reinforces the ability to approach challenges with balance and clarity. Celebrate the liberation that comes from forgiveness. Recognize the strength required to release blame and resentment, and the courage it takes to face personal imperfections. Emotional freedom is one of the most powerful enablers of personal growth, providing the clarity, energy, and peace needed to pursue goals effectively. By embracing forgiveness, you reclaim control over your life, strengthen your emotional resilience, and cultivate a mindset capable of responding to challenges with wisdom, composure, and confidence. Ultimately, forgiving yourself and others is an intentional choice that transforms emotional burden into freedom, guilt into wisdom, and resentment into strength. Emotional liberation enhances focus, improves relationships, and empowers every decision you make. By consistently practicing self-compassion, empathy, and mindful release of past harm, you build a foundation for sustained personal growth, confidence, and inner peace. The act of forgiveness is both a gift to yourself and a strategy for living with purpose, clarity, and resilience in every area of life. Chapter 17. Create routines that reinforce positive habits consistently. Consistency is the secret that transforms intention into achievement, and creating routines that reinforce positive habits is the most powerful way to ensure progress in every area of life. Success is rarely the result of occasional effort. It emerges from repeated intentional actions that compound over time. Every small, deliberate choice becomes a building block for personal growth, confidence, and mastery when integrated into a consistent routine. By designing practices that support your goals and values, you remove reliance on motivation alone and build a framework that drives results automatically, even on days when energy or willpower is low. The first step is clarity. Identify the habits that align with your long-term objectives and the person you want to become. List the actions that directly support growth, health, learning, relationships, or productivity. Without clarity, routines risk becoming arbitrary or unfocused. By defining what truly matters, you ensure that each element of your daily practice reinforces meaningful outcomes rather than consuming energy without return. Start small to ensure sustainability. Attempting to overhaul your life overnight is overwhelming and often leads to frustration. Introduce 1 or 2 core habits at a time and focus on embedding them consistently before adding more. Small repeated actions create momentum, build confidence, and make routines manageable. Over time, these small steps accumulate into significant transformation, illustrating that disciplined consistency outweighs sporadic bursts of effort. Anchor habits to existing routines. Linking new positive behaviors to established activities increases adherence by reducing the mental effort required to remember or initiate action. For example, meditate immediately after brushing your teeth, journal after morning coffee, or stretch after waking. Anchoring creates triggers that automate desired behaviors, ensuring that positive habits are reinforced without reliance on memory or motivation alone. Use time blocks to structure your day effectively. Assign specific periods for critical habits and tasks, rather than relying on flexible intentions. Scheduling creates accountability and signals to the brain that these actions are non-negotiable. Regularly practicing habits at consistent times enhances the body's and mind's anticipation, making execution smoother and more automatic. Time blocking turns intention into action and reinforces the neural pathways associated with routine behavior. Track progress to maintain momentum and awareness. Journaling, checklists, or digital apps allow you to visualize consistency, measure improvement, and identify patterns. Recording progress provides tangible evidence of growth, motivates persistence, and highlights areas needing adjustment. Monitoring routines encourages ownership and reinforces the belief that repeated, disciplined effort produces measurable results over time. Eliminate friction that disrupts habits. Prepare your environment to support routines and reduce barriers to action. For example, lay out workout clothes the night before, keep healthy snacks accessible, or create a dedicated workspace free from distractions. By removing obstacles, you make it easier to follow through consistently, increasing the likelihood that habits become ingrained and automatic. Environment shapes behavior, and intentional preparation strengthens adherence to positive routines. Incorporate flexibility without sacrificing consistency. Life is unpredictable, and rigid routines can lead to discouragement if interrupted. Develop backup strategies or modified versions of habits that can be maintained under different circumstances. Flexibility ensures that routines persist despite challenges, allowing habits to survive temporary disruptions without breaking momentum. Adaptable routines create resilience and reinforce the principle that consistency matters more than perfection. Pair habits with rewards and reinforcement. Celebrate completion of tasks or milestones to strengthen positive associations with the routine. Reinforcement does not need to be extravagant. Acknowledgement, reflection, or small rewards motivate continuation and deepen commitment. Positive reinforcement increases intrinsic motivation and helps embed habits as a natural and desirable part of daily life. Build accountability into routines. Share intentions with trusted individuals, mentors, or peers who can provide encouragement, support, and feedback. Accountability reinforces adherence and creates social motivation to maintain consistency. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitment strengthens resolve and reduces the tendency to skip or neglect critical habits. This external reinforcement complements internal discipline and accelerates habit formation. Reflect regularly to refine and improve routines. Evaluate what is working, what is challenging, and how habits align with long-term goals. Make incremental adjustments to optimize efficiency, enjoyment, and effectiveness. Reflection ensures that routines remain purposeful and continue to contribute to growth, rather than becoming mechanical or stagnant. By continually fine-tuning practices, you maintain engagement and maximize the benefits of consistent action. Leverage repetition to automate behavior. Habits become powerful when they no longer require conscious effort to perform. Consistent repetition strengthens neural pathways associated with desired behaviors, reducing reliance on willpower. Over time, positive actions become second nature, freeing mental energy for creativity, problem-solving, and higher-level focus. Automation of good habits ensures that growth occurs reliably and continuously. Integrate accountability markers such as check-ins, weekly reviews, or milestone celebrations. These markers provide tangible evidence of progress and reinforce the psychological reward system associated with consistency. They maintain motivation, highlight achievements, and create a structured feedback loop that strengthens habit adherence. Recognizing progress reinforces commitment and demonstrates the calm power of small daily actions over time. Understand that setbacks are part of the process. Occasional missed habits or disruptions do not negate progress. View lapses as opportunities to reassess, adjust, and recommit, rather than sources of self-criticism. Consistency is built through perseverance, resilience, and the ability to resume action after interruptions. Embracing this mindset ensures that routines continue to reinforce growth, even when life challenges arise unexpectedly. Connect habits to identity for long-term reinforcement. See yourself as the type of person who embodies the behaviors you wish to maintain. Internalizing identity strengthens commitment and increases the likelihood that routines persist. When actions align with self-concept, consistency becomes a reflection of who you are rather than a chore, making positive habits sustainable and deeply ingrained. Focus on quality over quantity. Performing habits effectively matters more than merely checking boxes. Thoughtful execution enhances results, reinforces purpose, and deepens the impact of routines. Attention to detail ensures that repeated actions build skill, resilience, and confidence, creating meaningful change rather than superficial motion. Finally, recognize the cumulative power of consistent routines. Every intentional action compounds over time, producing significant results that might not be immediately visible. Daily repetition of positive behaviors strengthens discipline, reinforces confidence, and accelerates personal growth. By creating and maintaining routines that support your goals, you harness the unstoppable momentum of compounded effort, ensuring continuous improvement and the development of habits that empower a lifetime of success. Chapter 18. Express yourself authentically in all areas of life. Authenticity is the foundation of fulfillment and confidence, and expressing yourself genuinely in all areas of life unlocks your true potential and builds meaningful connections. When you communicate, act, and live according to your values and beliefs, you create clarity, reduce internal conflict, and inspire trust in others. Pretending to be someone you are not drains energy, erodes self-esteem, and limits opportunities for growth. Choosing honesty and openness in how you present yourself empowers you to live fully, act decisively, and align your actions with your purpose. The first step is self-awareness. Understand your values, priorities, and beliefs deeply, and identify the principles that define who you are. Reflection and journaling help clarify what matters most, reveal areas where you have compromised authenticity, and highlight patterns that inhibit genuine self-expression. Awareness of your core identity is essential because you cannot express yourself authentically if you are uncertain about who you truly are. Accept yourself fully before seeking to express yourself. Embrace both strengths and imperfections without judgment. Self-acceptance reduces fear of criticism, shame, or rejection, making it easier to act and speak in alignment with your values. When you acknowledge and honor your own worth, expressing your true self becomes natural and effortless, rather than forced or performative. Communicate openly and honestly. Speak your thoughts and feelings clearly, respectfully, and with confidence. Avoid masking your opinions to please others or conform to expectations that contradict your values. Honest communication builds credibility and strengthens relationships while reinforcing your internal integrity. Over time, authenticity in communication attracts people and opportunities that resonate with your true self. Align actions with beliefs consistently. Expressing yourself authentically is not limited to words. Your behavior must reflect your principles. Decisions, habits, and interactions should demonstrate your commitment to your values. Consistency between intention and action fosters self-respect, enhances confidence, and reinforces the message you convey to others. Authenticity is measured as much by what you do as by what you say. Release the fear of judgment or rejection. The desire for approval often prevents honest self-expression. Recognize that not everyone will understand, agree, or accept your perspective, and that is acceptable. Prioritize alignment with your values over external validation. Courageously sharing your authentic self strengthens confidence, attracts supportive relationships, and reduces the mental strain of hiding or conforming. Practice vulnerability strategically. Allowing yourself to be seen honestly, even when imperfect, deepens connections and builds trust. Vulnerability demonstrates courage emotional intelligence and integrity. Sharing thoughts, feelings and experiences openly signals authenticity and encourages others to do the same, creating environments where honesty and openness are valued and reciprocated. Observe and adjust patterns of inauthentic behavior. Notice moments when you act out of obligation, fear, or social expectation rather than personal conviction. Identify triggers that prompt avoidance of authenticity and develop strategies to respond in alignment with your true self. Reflection and intentional adjustment strengthen the habit of genuine expression over time. Integrate creativity and personal expression in daily life. Authenticity is reinforced when you engage in activities that reflect your personality, interests, and passions. Whether through work, hobbies, communication style, or problem-solving approaches, expressing your uniqueness reinforces self-identity and builds confidence. Celebrating individuality empowers you to act with purpose and clarity in all areas of life. Listen actively and respond honestly. Authentic expression is a dialogue rather than a monologue. Engage with others by listening attentively and responding truthfully while maintaining respect and empathy. Authentic interaction fosters trust, strengthens relationships, and supports mutual growth. When your words and actions are consistent with your inner truth, your presence becomes influential, credible, and inspiring. Establish boundaries to protect authenticity. Saying yes or no according to personal principles preserves energy and reinforces self-respect. Boundaries prevent compromise of values and prevent external pressures from undermining genuine self-expression. Clear boundaries create space for deliberate choices that align with your identity, increasing confidence and reinforcing integrity. Reflect on experiences regularly to measure alignment. Evaluate whether your actions, decisions, and communication consistently reflect your values. Identify areas where conformity or fear has influenced behavior and take corrective action. Reflection reinforces awareness, strengthens intentional living, and deepens the habit of expressing yourself authentically across different environments and challenges. Celebrate authenticity by acknowledging moments of courage and integrity. Recognize when you have expressed yourself honestly or acted in alignment with your principles. Celebrating these moments reinforces self-esteem, motivates continued authentic action, and solidifies the connection between values and behavior. Recognition of effort strengthens confidence and encourages ongoing personal growth. Develop resilience against external pressures. Life presents numerous situations that challenge authenticity, from social norms to professional expectations. Strengthening resilience allows you to navigate these pressures without compromising values. Training the mind to maintain integrity despite opposition fosters confidence, reinforces self-trust, and ensures that your authentic voice remains consistent. Integrate authenticity into decision-making processes. Make choices based on personal principles rather than temporary incentives, approval, or fear. Aligning decisions with core beliefs ensures that outcomes reinforce identity, purpose, and self-respect. Consistent alignment between thought, action, and value creates a sense of control, clarity, and inner satisfaction. Embrace continuous self-discovery. Authentic expression evolves as you grow and learn. Explore new interests, challenge assumptions, and expand self-awareness. Authenticity is not static. It develops through ongoing reflection, experimentation, and conscious integration of experience into your identity. Continuous growth ensures that your self-expression remains genuine, relevant, and empowering over time. Finally, recognize the transformative power of authenticity. Expressing yourself genuinely in all areas of life enhances confidence, deepens relationships, and fosters emotional freedom. It creates opportunities for meaningful connections, strengthens resilience, and establishes a foundation for intentional living. By committing to authenticity consistently, you live in alignment with your values, amplify your personal impact, and cultivate a life defined by clarity, courage, and purpose. Chapter 19. Track progress and adjust actions to stay on course. Authenticity is the foundation of fulfillment and confidence, and expressing yourself genuinely in all areas of life unlocks your true potential and builds meaningful connections. When you communicate, act, and live according to your values and beliefs, you create clarity, reduce internal conflict, and inspire trust in others. Pretending to be someone you are not drains energy, erodes self-esteem, and limits opportunities for growth. Choosing honesty and openness in how you present yourself empowers you to live fully, act decisively, and align your actions with your purpose. The first step is self-awareness. Understand your values, priorities, and beliefs deeply, and identify the principles that define who you are. Reflection and journaling help clarify what matters most, reveal areas where you have compromised authenticity, and highlight patterns that inhibit genuine self-expression. Awareness of your core identity is essential because you cannot express yourself authentically if you are uncertain about who you truly are. Accept yourself fully before seeking to express yourself. Embrace both strengths and imperfections without judgment. Self-acceptance reduces fear of criticism, shame, or rejection, making it easier to act and speak in alignment with your values. When you acknowledge and honor your own worth, expressing your true self becomes natural and effortless, rather than forced or performative. Communicate openly and honestly. Speak your thoughts and feelings clearly, respectfully, and with confidence. Avoid masking your opinions to please others or conform to expectations that contradict your values. Honest communication builds credibility and strengthens relationships while reinforcing your internal integrity. Over time, authenticity in communication attracts people and opportunities that resonate with your true self. Align actions with beliefs consistently. Expressing yourself authentically is not limited to words. Your behavior must reflect your principles. Decisions, habits, and interactions should demonstrate your commitment to your values. Consistency between intention and action fosters self-respect, enhances confidence, and reinforces the message you convey to others. Authenticity is measured as much by what you do as by what you say. Release the fear of judgment or rejection. The desire for approval often prevents honest self-expression. Recognize that not everyone will understand, agree, or accept your perspective, and that is acceptable. Prioritize alignment with your values over external validation. Courageously sharing your authentic self strengthens confidence, attracts supportive relationships, and reduces the mental strain of hiding or conforming. Practice vulnerability strategically. Allowing yourself to be seen honestly, even when imperfect, deepens connections and builds trust. Vulnerability demonstrates courage, emotional intelligence, and integrity. Sharing thoughts, feelings, and experiences openly signals authenticity and encourages others to do the same, creating environments where honesty and openness are valued and reciprocated. Observe and adjust patterns of inauthentic behavior. Notice moments when you act out of obligation, fear, or social expectation rather than personal conviction. Identify triggers that prompt avoidance of authenticity and develop strategies to respond in alignment with your true self. Reflection and intentional adjustment strengthen the habit of genuine expression over time. Integrate creativity and personal expression in daily life. Authenticity is reinforced when you engage in activities that reflect your personality, interests, and passions. Whether through work, hobbies, communication style, or problem-solving approaches, Expressing your uniqueness reinforces self-identity and builds confidence. Celebrating individuality empowers you to act with purpose and clarity in all areas of life. Listen actively and respond honestly. Authentic expression is a dialogue rather than a monologue. Engage with others by listening attentively and responding truthfully while maintaining respect and empathy. Authentic interaction fosters trust, strengthens relationships, and supports mutual growth. When your words and actions are consistent with your inner truth, your presence becomes influential, credible, and inspiring. Establish boundaries to protect authenticity. Saying yes or no according to personal principles preserves energy and reinforces self-respect. Boundaries prevent compromise of values and prevent external pressures from undermining genuine self-expression. Clear boundaries create space for deliberate choices that align with your identity, increasing confidence and reinforcing integrity. Reflect on experiences regularly to measure alignment. Evaluate whether your actions, decisions, and communication consistently reflect your values. Identify areas where conformity or fear has influenced behavior and take corrective action. Reflection reinforces awareness, strengthens intentional living, and deepens the habit of expressing yourself authentically across different environments and challenges. Celebrate authenticity by acknowledging moments of courage and integrity. Recognize when you have expressed yourself honestly or acted in alignment with your principles. Celebrating these moments reinforces self-esteem, motivates continued authentic action, and solidifies the connection between values and behavior. Recognition of effort strengthens confidence and encourages ongoing personal growth. Develop resilience against external pressures. Life presents numerous situations that challenge authenticity, from social norms to professional expectations. Strengthening resilience allows you to navigate these pressures without compromising values. Training the mind to maintain integrity despite opposition fosters confidence, reinforces self-trust, and ensures that your authentic voice remains consistent. Integrate authenticity into decision-making processes. Make choices based on personal principles rather than temporary incentives, approval, or fear. Aligning decisions with core beliefs ensures that outcomes reinforce identity, purpose, and self-respect. Consistent alignment between thought, action, and value creates a sense of control, clarity, and inner satisfaction. Embrace continuous self-discovery. Authentic expression evolves as you grow and learn. Explore new interests, challenge assumptions, and expand self-awareness. Authenticity is not static. It develops through ongoing reflection, experimentation, and conscious integration of experience into your identity. Continuous growth ensures that your self-expression remains genuine, relevant, and empowering over time. Finally, recognize the transformative power of authenticity. Expressing yourself genuinely in all areas of life enhances confidence, deepens relationships, and fosters emotional freedom. It creates opportunities for meaningful connections, strengthens resilience, and establishes a foundation for intentional living. By committing to authenticity consistently, you live in alignment with your values, amplify your personal impact, and cultivate a life defined by clarity, courage, and purpose. Chapter 20. Commit to lifelong self-improvement and unwavering self-love. Tracking progress and adjusting actions is the key to transforming effort into results and ensuring that your goals are consistently within reach. Without deliberate measurement, it is easy to drift off course, repeat mistakes, or lose sight of priorities. Progress is not just about completing tasks, but about understanding what works, what needs improvement, and how to align daily actions with long-term objectives. By monitoring your efforts and making thoughtful adjustments, you gain control over outcomes, enhance efficiency, and cultivate a mindset of continuous growth and adaptability. The first step is defining clear metrics for success. Identify what progress looks like in concrete, measurable terms. Break larger goals into actionable steps and assign specific indicators that allow you to determine whether you are moving forward. This clarity provides focus, reduces ambiguity, and ensures that effort is directed toward meaningful results, rather than scattered activity. Well-defined metrics create a tangible framework for tracking achievement and sustaining motivation. Develop a system for regular tracking. Journaling, spreadsheets, apps, or planners can capture data about your habits, performance, and milestones. Recording information consistently allows patterns to emerge and provides insight into the effectiveness of your strategies. Monitoring progress systematically prevents oversights, encourages accountability, and creates a foundation for informed decision-making. Consistency in tracking is essential because even small amounts of data accumulated over time reveal trends and opportunities that might otherwise remain invisible. Analyze results objectively. Avoid letting emotions or assumptions distort your understanding of performance. Review outcomes honestly, identifying successes, areas for improvement, and recurring obstacles. Objective analysis highlights which strategies are effective and which require adjustment, providing actionable insight rather than relying on guesswork. Clear evaluation enhances confidence, guides decision-making, and empowers you to act decisively. Set regular reflection intervals. Daily, weekly, or monthly reviews allow you to assess progress and make timely adjustments. Reflection ensures that minor misalignments do not accumulate into major deviations and provides opportunities to celebrate successes along the way. By consistently reviewing actions, you reinforce awareness, maintain momentum, and create a habit of intentional growth that supports long-term achievement. Adjust strategies proactively. Tracking progress is meaningless without taking corrective action when necessary. Modify routines, habits, or approaches based on insights gained from monitoring. Flexibility allows you to respond to changing circumstances, overcome obstacles, and improve performance. Making adjustments strengthens resilience and demonstrates that progress is a dynamic process requiring attentiveness and adaptability rather than blind perseverance. Maintain accountability to reinforce commitment. Share progress with mentors, peers, or supportive communities who can provide feedback, encouragement, and perspective. External accountability motivates consistency, encourages honesty in self-assessment, and offers insights that might not be evident from personal evaluation alone. Accountability amplifies focus and reinforces the habit of tracking and adjusting actions diligently. Celebrate milestones and achievements. Recognizing progress, even incremental gains, reinforces motivation and provides evidence that consistent effort produces results. Celebrating achievements strengthens confidence, encourages persistence, and reinforces the value of tracking performance systematically. Positive reinforcement ensures that monitoring remains a constructive and energizing practice rather than a mechanical task. Prioritize adjustments that align with long-term goals. Avoid overreacting to minor setbacks or temporary challenges. Focus changes on strategies that improve alignment with your ultimate objectives and reinforce consistent, purposeful action. Strategic adjustment ensures that effort is efficient and directed toward meaningful outcomes rather than reactive or impulsive responses. Maintaining a long-term perspective helps balance immediate performance with sustained growth. Integrate feedback loops into your routine. Seek input from experiences, results, and trusted sources to continuously improve methods. Constructive feedback provides information that is often overlooked in self-assessment, allowing for more accurate course corrections Actively incorporating feedback into decision-making enhances skill development, strengthens adaptability, and promotes continuous improvement in all areas of life. Document lessons learned to prevent repetition of mistakes. Tracking progress is also about understanding patterns that hinder success. Record insights gained from challenges, errors, or missteps, and use them to refine strategies. Learning from experience ensures that growth is cumulative and that previous obstacles inform smarter, more effective action moving forward. Knowledge retention transforms setbacks into stepping stones for improvement. Develop resilience in the face of fluctuation. Progress is rarely linear, and temporary setbacks are inevitable. Monitoring progress allows you to recognize that minor deviations do not equate to failure. Adjusting actions with patience and persistence maintains momentum, reinforces confidence, and cultivates a mindset that values learning and adaptation over perfection. Consistency, not flawlessness, drives lasting success. Use visual tools to reinforce awareness. Charts, graphs, or progress bars provide immediate clarity about performance trends and highlight areas needing attention. Visual representation strengthens perception of growth, motivates continued effort, and simplifies complex data into actionable insights. Visualization of progress engages both the analytical and emotional aspects of decision-making, enhancing focus and reinforcing positive behavior. Anchor adjustments in actionable steps. Avoid vague intentions or abstract plans that are difficult to implement. Translate insights into clear, concrete actions that can be executed immediately. Breaking down adjustments into practical steps ensures that progress tracking translates into measurable improvement and prevents analysis paralysis from stalling growth. Execution is the bridge between insight and achievement. Maintain balance between measurement and action. While tracking is crucial, overemphasis on monitoring without execution creates stagnation. Use data as a tool to inform decisions rather than as a substitute for action. Effective progress tracking complements proactive effort, creating a cycle of observation, adjustment, and implementation that maximizes results. Balance ensures that monitoring enhances rather than hinders growth. Develop a growth-oriented mindset to interpret results constructively. View challenges, setbacks, and deviations as information rather than judgment. A mindset focused on learning and improvement allows for effective adjustment without discouragement, reinforcing the habit of deliberate action and consistent evaluation. Positive interpretation of feedback strengthens resilience and ensures continued forward movement. Link progress to motivation and purpose. Regularly remind yourself why your goals matter and how tracking advances your aspirations. Purpose-driven tracking transforms routine measurement into meaningful engagement, ensuring that each action reinforces values, vision, and long-term objectives. Motivation anchored in purpose, commitment, and sustains disciplined effort over time. Finally, recognize that tracking progress and adjusting actions is an ongoing process, not a one-time effort. Continuous monitoring, reflection, and adaptation build a sustainable path to success, ensuring that effort remains aligned with goals and personal growth. By committing to this practice, you cultivate accountability, resilience, and clarity, allowing consistent improvement, increased confidence, and mastery over both daily actions and long-term achievements.